Welcome back. Happy Thursday. I'm happy to be streaming again. We're going to be playing a Garry's Mod add-on today, which I've been really excited to check out. There's a few things I wanted to cover before I start the stream properly. I was requested to play a couple of Half-Life 2 mods that were recently released. Well, one mod that was recently released and its predecessor, Disbelief and Disrepair, and I am going to stream those. I wanted to get to this one first because I was really intrigued by the Entropy Zero influences in this add-on. So I will stream those add-ons in the future. Keep an eye out. Hi, Dovaquartz. Welcome. Also, hi, Vizies. Welcome to stream. I also wanted to say I'm happy to be streaming again. I had to take a little hiatus while I went on a trip. That was really good to take a break, you know, go to an unfamiliar place, have some adventures, and now I'm back. So I'm happy to be here. And the last thing I wanted to cover before I start playing is that there's two different versions of this Protector Redux that I wanted to check out. I kind of became aware of it because there was a port of the map pack to the Entropy 02 workshop, and I'm really eager to play that because I love playing EZ2 workshop maps, but it is a port of the original by a different mapper. So I want to, I think, play the original first to review it in its original format, see, you know, what I think about it. And then after that, we can go to the port and sort of review how well was it ported to Entropy 02. I get a little nervous whenever I see the word port in Steam Workshop add-ons, because I see a lot of add-ons that are considered ports, or they use the word port, but they just sort of re-upload content. This is not the case here, because I know that the person who worked on this put a lot of effort into making sure that it's compatible with EZ2, and I saw their progress and stuff. So this is a port that I want to play, but I just thought I'd leave that comment that the word port kind of frightens me a little bit, because in other cases I've seen it can mean that it might not work, or there wasn't proper considerations made. In this case, it's good. I think my audio isn't playing. Is that true? I didn't do my audio check. My microphone is picking up, but the background music isn't. I'm sorry about that. Music jump scare. Sorry about that, guys. I had background music running, but my OBS scene wasn't picking it up. Also, how does my microphone sound? I didn't do a proper sound check this time. I should have. Sorry, I was running a little bit late today, guys. Hi, Boom Donuts. Welcome. We're just about to get started with Protector Redux. Protecting my Redux. This is especially interesting to me because even though the format is that it was released in is for Garry's mod, it has a lot of inspiration from Entropy Zero, and so it almost feels like an EZ mod or an EZ2 add-on, even if it's not. So I'm excited to see how they were inspired by Entropy Zero and Entropy 02 and the direction they took that in their own little, this creator's extension of the universe. Now, I'm not familiar with the person who made this originally. It looks like they're Regzmir, if I'm saying that right. Yeah, Regzmir. Mic sounds the same as always. I don't know if that's good or bad, because a couple streams ago my mic settings were completely broken. I think it was the second to the last Terminator stream. My mic was not working correctly. I think it's working now, but that's good to know. Yeah, I think I've covered all of the preliminaries. We're gonna play Protector Redux for Garry's mod, and then if there's enough time, I'd also like to play Protector Redux for Entropy 02 by Elent. Elent did the port, and I think they probably did a really good job with it, so I'm excited to try it out. But yeah, starting with Garry's mod, I think that covers everything. I've commented on this before, but I always sort of rehearse what I'm going to say before a stream, and then as soon as the camera starts rolling, I forget everything I was going to say, so I constantly feel like I'm forgetting something I had to go over before we start. This is Garry's mod. I've never streamed Garry's mod before. I think that was what I forgot to say, actually, was that I haven't really played a lot of Garry's mod in a really long time. Of course, being a source modding fan, I've had a lot of experience with Garry's mod in the past, in the distant past, but for years I haven't done a lot of Garry's mod. I played it with a couple friends not too long ago, and a little longer ago than that, I ran a server for a little bit, but I'm not super familiar with modern Garry's mods, so you guys will have to correct me if I'm doing this wrong or setting this up wrong. I subscribed to Protector Redux in the Steam Workshop for Garry's mod, as well as the prerequisites, the content add-on, and the subtitles framework. But then I also subscribed to this HUD sounds replacement from EZ2, an NVG replacement, and this Half-Life 2 customizable HUD, because I wanted it to feel more like I'm playing Entropy Zero, so I thought those add-ons would help with that. So just forewarning, those aren't part of Protector Redux. Those are things that I installed to enhance the stream a little bit. I didn't go too crazy and download lots of skins or anything. I just thought those add-ons would help sell the effect. So with that out of the way, I think we're ready to get started. Oh, Garry's mod. Quick check. Yeah, I have the category right. Let's go. So one thing that I was wondering about is, am I supposed to download a different game mode to play maps like this in? Or am I just supposed to play them in sandbox mode? It's been forever since I've done anything Gmod, so I don't really know. I'm just going to go ahead and play it like normal. Here's Protector Series, Protector Redux 1, and start game. Hopefully Jack J. Charles isn't lurking in your game to ask you to download his saves. Who's that?
Hey, 66. Come over here.
So we are 66. Looks like that's roller 1. I was really excited right off the bat because this area looks a lot like the firing range from Entropy 01. Now I can tell it's not the exact same location because there's no lever, the buildings are different, the citadel isn't here, but it's clearly like inspired. As well as the this character, Roller, I didn't catch his number. He's using the captain skin from Entropy 02.
This place got a new picture for us, so just follow me. I'll show you everything you need to know. So, with the 66,
Roller 1.
you guys, Lion 6 and Lion 86, they seem alright. You're gonna come with us.
Why does his head movement seem like jittery? Do you guys notice that? I can't help but think of Beck. Yeah, it's probably a similar vocoder. Maybe they use the same technique from CW3D.
Earlier. You know, I recall you telling us what we were actually doing. Yep.
Just keep seeing him pop up in the Gmod subreddit. Oh, I'm not in that subreddit.
Well, actually, we're going to City 9, gonna gather some information, and we're gonna leave.
City 9. We've seen City 10, but City 9 is a new one.
Let's hope it doesn't go like the last time.
I don't mean to talk over the characters, by the way.
Oh, just don't worry about it.
Seems like a reference to the cat.
City's far away, so
What cat?
get some rest on the way there.
So while they're walking, I'm gonna pause for a second to look at some of the little background details. I like that this is the poster from Half-Life Alyx. I recognize that. There's a lot of custom assets that I'm seeing. I like the scrolling text on that monitor. I haven't seen that before. City 17 logo. Oh, and I did play a little bit of this yesterday. Oh, there's the White Forest peak. Are we really in City 17 if we're close enough to see White Forest? I guess we're probably like on the edge, because... Yeah, maybe.
Alright, just get on everyone.
Anyways,
I'll send it.
I'm lagging behind. This prop here, I'm familiar with now because that's from Portal. Nice, you know, wall pipe mesh to kind of make the environment feel a little bit more 3D. And I'm seeing lots of props from different sources. Like, I don't recognize where these railings come from, or I think these are like Left 4 Dead or Counter-Strike or something. I don't know. Do I recognize this from somewhere? I'm not sure. There's the train. Looks like the train is clipping into the vents up there. Oh no. This all happened so quickly. Wait, let me just inspect the area. Sorry. Wait up for just a second. I think we covered everything. Cool opening area, though. Yeah, here's the captain cop. I wonder why... It does seem like there's something with his animations where there's sort of a jitter to when he moves his head around. Now it's fine. But I'm not sure... Maybe that's because the Metro Cops don't normally... I think they do normally move their heads, actually. I'm thinking of the soldiers. I'm not sure. As well as this Metro Cop is using the Entropy Zero skin, as far as I can tell. Unless it's a different Blue Eyes skin. The mask looks different on that one. I'm not sure why. I want to play these maps for myself, but Gmod runs worse on my crappy laptop compared with default source. Yeah, Gmod I know has some differences in like engine limits and stuff. I wouldn't expect it to run too much different, but it also probably, the maps that people make for Gmod are usually very, very big compared with regular source engine maps. So it could just be there's too much going on. Or maybe it isn't optimized very well and it has to render the whole map or something. It's so weird to see like the Garry's mod transition on level transition between the maps. So we get a cutscene. I think that's acceptable because this is Garry's mod, but that's very different. I'm not used to cutscenes in my Entropy Zero.
There should be a outpost down the highway. Let's get over it quickly.
So this is City 9, so we get a brand new city logo. This is our first look at City 9. Combine for safety, that's, or Combine for safety. That's an Half-Life Alyx poster. I wonder where City 9 is. You know, I mean, we don't really know the location of City 17 to begin with, but is it close to City 17? Is it far away? Chapter 1, Search. Wait for me, guys. This is just like real life. Everybody's just leaving without me. Leaving me in the dust.
I can pass them until someone overrides them, and I can't do that from here. Shit. Alright. I have a plan. Line 686. There's some guys on my right. Try and get through them, and you'll find a way around.
THRU in the subtitles.
On the left. Victor 66. We're gonna go through there. Find a way around.
Okay. So it's interesting that we're splitting the party this early.
I'll take as much as I can. Now go!
It's weird not being able to walk through the force fields. I mean, he does explain why. It's because we're locked out of these, but it's unusual for a Combine. If I were playing this, I'd spawn 15 other Metro Cops as backup. Yeah, that's the weird thing about sandbox mode. Like, I'm allowed to just... I mean, I guess you can always open the console, but it just feels like... It feels weird to be able to press Q and just spawn, like, anything I want. That doesn't feel right. Oh yeah, I should also set my player model. Player model. I wanted to be a Metro Cop. Yeah, so I set my Metro Cop model, but I get to be an orange Metro Cop, I guess. Also, I like how the stun stick that they have, even though it doesn't have a right click like Entropy Zero, it has a, if you hold left click, it'll do a charge up attack, so it is similar. And I think this is using Entropy Zero 2's animations for the pistol. Oh, I don't have very much ammo. I probably should not have done that. That, like, uses up all my ammo.
Hey, 66. If you find stations like these ones, try to use them. I can try to contact you, and maybe open some gates around you.
Okay, so we get a mechanic for getting help from
Looks like there's a gate
command,
next to you.
as it were.
Try to open it.
That's kind of cool. I wonder how that will come. Oh, I like the lock symbol. cool mechanic. I was expecting this gate to open though. Which gate did he open? Was it one over here? Yeah, it was this one. Okay. Okay, I want to take out this barnacle, but the only way is with melee because I don't want to use all my pistol ammo. Oh, ow. That was dumb. I I got the timing wrong on the stun stick and lost some health. Oh boy. Oh no. I wasn't expecting a zombie this early. Is it just me, or does the zombie have... Maybe it's just the lighting, actually. I thought it was slightly different color on the armor, but it might just be the lighting. Pistol ammo. Hey, how are we popping? We're going good. We're playing a Garry's Mod campaign inspired by Entropy Zero. Yeah, you can add any NPCs. I really, it's funny, I haven't played enough Garry's Mod, like, truly. I played it a lot, like, oh boy, like, 15 years ago. But, in recent years, I've kind of missed out on all the innovations people have had in Garry's Mod. Oh. I hit Q and opened up the menu by mistake. There we go. What was I trying to do? Oh, I was going to comment on how I think this is entirely optional. No, it isn't, because you needed it to get through here. It'd be cool if these were like optional caches, like the Wilson caches. I feel like my mouse sensitivity is different. Maybe I've set it differently for Garry's Mod. Hi. Oh, PZ2701. You're the person who made the Combine throwing grenades back on Reddit. Hi, I posted the complete version of my Combine throwing me grenade back project on Reddit and Discord. Love to hear your opinion. Yeah, I'm very interested in the code, actually. I saw that and I just thought it was really cool. Because, like, if I had been trying to implement that, the thing that I would worry about right away is, like, how does the soldier know where to pick up the grenade from? Like, would you need to use IK to have his hand reach the grenade? That seems pretty hard, if not impossible, to do with Half-Life 2 animations. But the way you did it is you basically had him sort of magnetically attract the grenade to his hand. And I think that was just really, really smart. I liked that, because the players aren't going to see it close enough to realize that's what's happening. And the way that they crouched down to get the grenades looked pretty natural. I just thought it was a really cool feature. I was chatting with Blixabon earlier about whether or not it would be fun to have that in... mods, you know, would players be frustrated, for example, if a Combine soldier throws a grenade back at them? I don't know. I'd like to experiment with it, so I'm really interested in seeing that code. If you have like a fork of the Source SDK 2013 on GitHub or anything like that, I would definitely check that out. I think it would be especially fun for Entropy 02 if, like, your soldiers can throw back rebel grenades, because then you're not going to be frustrated by it, right, if it's your allies that are doing it. There we go. Yeah, welcome to stream. Really creative work that you did there. Did you hear that Gmod is adding Counter-Strike source textures to base Gmod? That's like... How many years has Garry's Mod been out again? I guess it came out like 2005 or 2006. I think of it as being 2009 because I think that's when like the version that I first played came out. But yeah, all these years, decades of you forgot to install Counter-Strike source, and they're finally adding the textures. The HECU threw back grenades in the PS2 Half-Life port? I didn't know that. I was just talking to Blix about the PlayStation 2 port of Half-Life earlier, because I keep forgetting that apparently you could change which character you're playing as in Decay. I remember distinctly when I was a kid, like plugging in 2 PlayStation 2 controllers and then swapping a controller back and forth with myself to play that. So I was like, really? Like I could have just played it in single player that whole time? But I don't know. Memory is fickle, and that was a long time ago. What did I just do, by the way? Sorry, I looked down for a second. I hear a zombie. There it is. There's conditions like the grenade needs to be really close or almost touching their foot. They must not be reloading. Otherwise they do the default behavior. That's really good. I was thinking about it earlier, and I think if I was adding that, I would also add a squad slot for throwing back grenades, so that if a grenade lands in the middle of a bunch of soldiers, only one of... Well, I guess if it needs to be near their foot, then only one of them is going to go for it anyways. But yeah, only one of them should try to throw back the grenade, and the rest should run away. Kelko. Now, I wonder where this decal is from. I don't recognize it from Half-Life 2. It might be Counter-Strike or Left 4 Dead or anything. Hi, XD. Welcome. What is... Ew. What? Oh, sorry, I got distracted. I keep pressing Q to switch weapons when Q is bound to open my menu in Garry's mod. I might have to rebind the menu just so I don't keep doing that. I use the gravity logic to pull and launch the grenade. Is that sort of like how Dog picks up and throws objects? My first plan was for the soldier to delete and throw one, but I decided to try it with a real grenade. I probably would have done the delete thing, so it's cool that you got it to work with a real one, because then you don't have to like transfer the time across to the new one or anything. Like the gravity gun? Oh. What's over here? Just a cache. I guess City 9 has Lambda rebels as well. They did say there's a rebel outpost here. So they have caches. I was interested in this corpse model half. Like, that's new. That's not in Half-Life 2. So that must be from like a content pack, or that's something they made original. My brother bought a PS3 and modded it, so I've been trying to find a working Half-Life 1 PS2. Can you play PS2 games on a PS3? I guess I never owned a PS3. Direction up. Good to know. Oh. Okay. Just gonna close this. Maybe that's gonna... Is that gonna lower the water? Or is that... Yeah, it is. Okay. I guess we're going in the water. Oh! What the heck? I wasn't expecting that. I can tell these guys don't fight like the rebels in EZ. They're like... I don't know. Gmod rebels with pistols. Oh, one of them dropped an SMG. I thought they were both using pistols. So now we get our SMG. This is also using the Entropy 02 animations and view model. There's pretty heavy fog in this map. I think it's a little bit distracting. I think we can open from this side. No, we can't. Just gonna swim over here. This map has built-in sweeps. I thought you were using a replacement mod for a second. Is the stun stick also custom? Yeah, I think the sweeps came with the content pack for the add-on. Oh my goodness. This stun stick is so slow. Yeah, because these sweeps came with the mod. I think they came in the content pack, and they're based on Entropy 02's weapons. They use the view models by the EZ2 team and the view model animations by Scientia. Civil protection from City 17 are coming. Many rumors. Yeah, so one thing I was going to comment on is that we're City 17 Metro Cops, but we go to City 9. But that's not really unheard of because in Entropy 0, a team of Metro Cops from City 17 go out to the Outlands to find the teleporter parts, and then they end up going back through City 10. So I think that makes sense in the context of Entropy 0. It's something where, just based on Half-Life 2, you'd be like, why would they send cops out of the city? But there's a precedent for it in the other mods. They're liars. Is that referring to the Combine or someone else? Vacations to City 10, yeah. This is probably a stacking puzzle, because these aren't breaking. Or they're just... What was the point of this room? It's in here. You can't tell me that there's just a room full of boxes. I guess it's just a room full of boxes. Perhaps they're referring to the cake. Yeah, the cake is a lie. Storage room? Yeah, but like, why did the boxes not break? That box broke. Maybe the stun stick just doesn't do very much damage. Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. I don't see anything in here, though. Rebels fighting some zombies over there. Not very effective. You use Gemini to make the grenade throwing? That's both, like, kind of impressive that it was able to do that at all. Like, I can see where you say it took you weeks, because there's no way it's gonna be able to, like, do that unless you have to, like, sort of shepherd it through, which I'm sure you did. But I honestly think you would find that it's actually a lot easier to learn C++ than it would be to do what you did. Because I think it sounds like you had the right ideas in mind, for example, learning how the gravity gun was made and stuff like that, and it would be just about the same amount of effort for you to read through the code and kind of reverse engineer it on your own. Blood looks weird in fog. I was thinking that too. I didn't vocalize that thought because I was like, you know, it seems like almost too much of a nitpick to even comment on. But yeah, it seems like the decal sort of, the fog doesn't apply over the decals, so it looks strange. Yeah, I mean, it's not about judgment. It's just I think you should try to look at the code and start to understand, because it seems like you have the right approach down. So you're not saving yourself any time with the AI, really. It's just wasting your time because you're smarter than it is. That's what I'm trying to say. would the EZ2 dynamic surrender add-on work well with this? I think you mean with this map, or is it recommended to go in with no additional add-ons? The the workshop page didn't say, so maybe you're onto something there. I probably could have downloaded that. I only wanted to grab a couple add-ons, so it's a good question. I think it probably would work. That guy is not moving. Is he just gonna stay there? Yeah, maybe you're right. The surrender. Oop. The surrender add-on would be good here because we could disarm this guy and surrender. Get all of them? I think so. I think that medic was unarmed though. Oops. I am starting to get excited by the idea of porting this to Entropy 02 though, because like you pointed out, XD, the some of the EZ2 features like surrendering would work really well with this. Geneva Convention pilot, yeah. I mean, that's par for the course with the Combine. Yes, the toxic goo pit. It's the hot tub. Oh, more toxic goo pits. We got a shotgun. Unauthorized shotgun. Personally really love willpower and rebel brutes in EZ2. Yeah, those were the features I was really excited to work on because I think that's a part of the gameplay in Entropy 0 that everyone really enjoyed. Fighting the rebels and having them sort of respond to you dynamically with like the willpower system. I think it's part of like kind of the core identity of the game. And it was nice trying to differentiate the rebels from the Combine a little bit in the way that they fight. Sounds like I sounded the alarm. There's only one way in or out from here. Am I waiting for this to open, or am I supposed to go a different way? Ah, I knew fast zombies were going to come out of that pit. Everything is on fire. Oh, no, you don't. Okay. Head crabs are good at, like, preventing you from blocking yourself into a tight space. I don't have GitHub. Can I send you a text file with the whole combat.cpp and combat.h? I'd really prefer, like, for this sort of thing, like a pull request on GitHub. I think about adding 2 more things, making the Combine kick grenades. Oh, that would be really cool. And, sorry. Distracted by zombies and head grabs. If the enemy is too close, like zombies, soldiers can put a grenade on the ground. Oh, that would be really neat. I think I've seen that done before. I'd never seen throwing grenades back. But yeah, I think I'm okay as far as the code goes. I'm interested to see where you go with the idea. But I don't think I would have much to do with the with just the raw source code at this point. To be completely honest, I don't think I want to add the code now that I know that it was made with Gemini. I just want to try to keep AI-generated code out of the repository as much as possible, because I think we could probably implement something similar. But I appreciate the idea and the willingness to like send the code and everything. What did this do? No, it's okay. I mean, it's like you said, that was the best way for you to implement the idea that you had. So there's nothing wrong with that. I just prefer to avoid AI-generated content whenever I can. It's getting getting harder and harder to do, of course. Times are changing, but yeah. Not sure what that button did. I think I have to backtrack here, but I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, the enemy lets me know that I need to backtrack. One of the good SNPC packs in the workshop has shock troopers that throw grenades back at the player. Oh, I didn't... Maybe someone earlier said that HECU can throw grenades back. I didn't think that was the case, but maybe. It's interesting that shock troopers can do that, though. You mean like the Race X shock troopers?
Level detected. Emergency.
Yeah, that's super cool. I want to see more Race X and Source mods. You know, like seeing the shock troopers in Half-Life 2 style would be really interesting. Especially with physics-based gameplay. That was something we never got to do for EZ2. Okay, I think this is now active. It wasn't clear to me what that button did before. It's still not clear to me what that button did. Okay. We're, maybe this opens up... Okay, this opens up that way. I'm a little bit lost, being honest. But I think we're backtracking now. Because I recognize that graffiti from before. I think we were over here before, although I never broke that box. Cool cat. This is not from Half-Life 2. There's a lot of custom assets in this. Uh-oh. Guys, I think I might be lost. Because I think I came through here and then this closed behind me. Ah. I appreciate that. And honestly, if we do pursue that, I might, like... I'd be interested in re-implementing it without using AI, and maybe crediting you for the idea. I just, again, it's as time goes on, it's going to be harder and harder to pick and choose. But I want to avoid AI tools as much as possible for the code base, just as a matter of practice. Yeah, I know that's not always feasible, but it's just something that I want to maintain, because I think when you use AI tools, it doesn't always have the context for what your like best practices. It doesn't have the full the ability that a human has to look at the code holistically and make inferences about it. Like I've seen a lot of really bad AI code where it will have inefficiencies or like weird like edge cases or loops that don't make any sense, because it's just sort of it's making the best prediction about what the code should look like, but it doesn't necessarily understand. And I know some of the tools are like Cursor are better than others. I still try to avoid them. Again, it's like kind of a fool's errand, because if like the more people that use them, the more common they are. But I'm just gonna try to avoid using any AI content ever as much as I can. But I am really interested in the idea still. And you don't need to feel bad for it. I'm not trying to put any shame on the way that you implemented it. It's just a standard that I have for the code, right? So I don't mean to make this awkward or anything. You shouldn't feel bad for using the tool because it was something that helped you learn, right? But it's just something for, like, if I'm going to use the code, I want to avoid that if possible. As well as I also wanted to say that I appreciate you mentioning it, because I think a lot of people try to like sort of pass it off as their own work, and that's scary because it's getting harder and harder to tell, right? So being upfront and honest about it is very important, and it's very admirable, and I do appreciate that. Guys, I am stuck. So I know that I used this console, and I pressed this button to open this door. I guess I need to follow the wires. Where do the wires go? Okay. Oh, right. This wasn't active before. Now it is. I see.
Looks like there's a gate next to you. I'm gonna try to open it.
Okay. So I guess he opened the gate. Which gate is he referring to? Would that be this one? You used AI to help myself set up, use AI to help yourself set up NPC sniper. What do you mean? Okay, like... I'm genuinely confused by that. Like, AI does not know what hammer is. Like, there's no way it's like, what do you mean you used it to help you set up the NPC snipe? That doesn't make any sense. But anyways, the other message, I almost missed it. One thing I thought was anyone more experienced could actually make it better. I'm really impressed by what you were able to do. Again, like, I'm confused how Gemini would be able to do that. Like, that's really blowing my mind. I think I don't give the tools enough credit for how far along they are. But, no, the implementation looked good, and I am interested in recreating it. But you said, is it true that Entropy 01 is getting a remake? No, Entropy 01 is not getting a remake. We're working on a big update, a version 5 update. I guess you could call it a remake. So it's a big update, but it's not a remake. The update is centered around the VR port. So we're working on Entropy 0 VR, and then we're also going to release all of the changes to the base entropy 0, because Breadman isn't really working on the VR port exactly. He's working on changes to make the game better, both in VR and in the flat game. So Entropy 0 VR is coming out, and when it does come out, it will come along with a whole bunch of changes to the base game that will make it almost like a remake, but it's not like a pure remake. It's like an overhaul, basically. I had a problem where the sniper would not aim to the alley below. Turns out the sniper was too low and couldn't see it. So how did you use AI to find that solution? So, okay, so the guy opened a gate. I think this is actually the gate that he opened, right here. Invisible wall. Entropy 0 VR would look sick. I don't have one, but I'll watch streams of it. Yeah, and you can play all of the map changes in the base game. But yeah, definitely keep an eye out for streams of EZVR when it comes out. I know VR is very divisive because not everyone has access to it or has interest in it. Some people can get motion sick and things like that, but it's something I'm really passionate about because I love VR, so I'm really excited to bring Entropy 0 to VR and combine it with Half-Life 2 VR. I thought I didn't set up the logic correctly. It took me 2 hours to figure it out. But again, like you said that you used AI to help you solve that problem. How did you do that specifically? Because I have an idea about it, and I'm curious if I'm going to be right or not. Playing EZVR using actual police tactics. You can. I do find myself, like, approaching the game very differently when I have to reload the guns myself, and I have to, you know, like, move through doors, and you can, like, peek around corners and everything. It changes the way... Wow, that's a big staircase. Changes the way you approach the game, for sure. I guess I could have played these maps in VR because there's Garry's mod VR, right? That could have been fun. I just kept asking, then it suggested that the sniper couldn't see the geometry below. I was right. Okay, so what you're saying is you used AI to help you fix that problem, but you could have used a magic 8-ball or like a D20, right? Like you're basically just using it to help you come up with random suggestions. It didn't know what the problem was. You just kept having it tell you random things until you had the inspiration. Like you could have just like picked up a book and started reading, and you would have eventually thought like, oh wait, there's a situation where someone can't see something below them. Maybe that's what's happening. Like it's not like the AI knows. It just happened to say the right thing at the right time. I think the thing that that was a misclick. It was a misinput. The thing that bothers me the most about AI tools is the trust that people put in them. It's like when someone says that they asked ChatGPT for something and then they expected to give an actual answer, that actually makes me like angry, you know? Because I think people who use AI successfully, like in the case of the here's my guys. I gotta hold that thought for a second. I'm Victor 66, by the way, not Victor 60.
Unfortunately, it's gonna take some time. He also noticed movement near our location.
Movement near our location.
So we're probably not gonna be alone soon.
I mean, I already engaged the rebels. Have these guys engaged the rebels? I feel like I am the only one who's fought anybody yet. What I was gonna say about AI tools is when people use them correctly, like in the case of the throwing grenades back thing, it's not that you trusted the AI, it's that you didn't trust it, right? Like you prompted it and then you tested and then you re-prompted, which is not unlike what you would do if you weren't using AI. You would have a hypothesis and you would test it, and then you adjust your model, right? And that's why I'm also saying you shouldn't use it, is because if you're smart enough to use it and get the results you want, you're also smart enough to not use it and get the results you want. I think you should cut out the middleman and just avoid using tools like that. That's my boomer rant of the day. Oh. You asked how Gemini Pro managed to do that, but by having patience and talking to it like a child in trial and error. Exactly, it's that trial and error. That's just like how you would do it if you were doing it by yourself. You know, you would try something and then you would update your model and you would try something different. 3 weeks. Yeah, it would take you less than 3 weeks to learn, I think. It's easy for me to say. It took me a long time to learn Java at first and then other languages, but I think you should try it yourself, you know? You're depriving yourself of the opportunity to learn really valuable skills. Do I have grenades? No, I don't, but I do have a shotgun. Are you guys gonna add the dark interval combine name patches to EZ1? No, we're not. I mean, dark interval is open source now, but no. Hey, that guy looks like he's like aiming back and forth. I remember that being a bug in EZ2. I wonder if that's in like base Half-Life 2. If it means anything, I did not just randomly send code and hope for the best. I analyzed sections of it to see if it matches what I need. Yeah, and that's good. That shows that you were using it correctly. You know, you weren't just like blindly trusting it. You were shepherding it. That's the right way to use it. Like, as much as I said I won't use it at all for this, I do think that there's a good way to use tools like that and a bad way to use tools like that. And I'm glad that you were able to get utility out of it. It's more of a personal preference for me that I'm not going to. I could never be that patient. Yeah, me neither. I would start to get really angry at the language model, I think, which is not productive, right? Like, it's not a person. It doesn't. There's no sense getting emotional with a machine. These characters do remind me a lot of Uprising. I saw the Chief Cop. Yeah, that's Roller 1. But you lead the way and we'll follow behind. So they're using the squad system from Half-Life 2, although C is not bound to send. It's bound to open this menu. Which I guess I can use it to like aim like that? Like, that's weird. I recognize that graffiti from Half-Life Alyx. If they're here for Iris, hide. If they're here for hide, Iris. I assume this is if they're here for Iris, hide. Who's Iris? I'm intrigued. It is annoying. Every time I corrected it, it goes like, "You're a genius. You're so smart. We can do this." Okay, a pet peeve about AI, because I've tested out things with ChatGPT. I haven't tried Gemini actually, but whenever I like question like what can ChatGPT do, I get so mad at how if you point it out making a mistake, it does this thing where it like apologizes to you, and that makes me really angry because it's like, because you know it's not real, like it's not sincere. It's nothing. No one is apologizing to you. It's just saying the words that it thinks that you expect it to say, right? So if it blatantly will make up misinformation, like I'll ask ChatGPT a question, it lies, and I say, "Hey, why did you lie?" It'll say something like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. You're so right to point that out. You're absolutely correct. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. The actual answer is," and then it will lie again because it's a machine that tells lies. And it's just like it just seems like so sociopathic to me to have it like write these responses about emotions that it's not having. You know, like it doesn't feel sorry. It doesn't feel anything. Wasn't there a story or movie about giving AI emotions was done badly? See, I actually think all of the stories about AIs like becoming more human or becoming sentient, like kind of in a way, that's the most optimistic outcome. I think if AI was more like people, it would solve a lot of the problems we have with it, you know? Maybe we should give AI emotions. Which, that's a whole other thing. Okay, I'm pausing the game to rant about this, guys. Our current, like, I think the problem is that we've labeled the current AI field as AI. We use that word AI to describe large language models and generative AI, but we kind of conflate that with the whole broad concept of AI, like general intelligence. But like the current AI field being large language models and generative AI isn't really the same thing, right? Like when we talk about like Skynet is becoming self-aware or something, or like, you know, like an AI character in a story is like human-like, or they have emotions. It's not the same kind of AI that ChatGPT is. It's not a large language model. It's like a completely different type of machine that does something completely different. But I think like that word AI and the way it's being labeled to things affects the way we see them. Like we expect large language models to be way more sophisticated than they are because we call them AI, because we've given them that name. And now it's sort of like, it's also limiting the way we look at AI. So I don't know. I don't like the way the word AI has become exclusively referring to large language models and generative AI, because it's too narrow. AI can also be like game AI, or it could be like general AI, or like other, you know, I don't know. I had to pause it's hyper fast Google. No, that is the one thing that it isn't, because large language models aren't that, because they lie by design, and other kinds of AI aren't that, because that's not what the word means. So I would say that's the one thing it isn't, you know. Sorry, this is supposed to be Protector Redux stream, not like ranting about AI stream. This guy has a little bit of blood on his mask. I thought he's supposed to be like bloody and Entropy Zero Uprising, but actually he just got blood on him from the fight. Sorry for making AI a topic. No, like I understand you wanted to talk about the grenade throwing back feature, because I was really interested in it. But yeah, there's just a lot. It's a really loaded issue right now. There's a lot to go over. I feel like I need to do something with that broken window in there. Like I have to shoot something. Do I have to? I mean, it would be really dumb if I just shot the monitor and that let me through, right? Okay, that's not it. Do I need to like? Is there like an explosive? Oh, I know. There we go. When you have 3 Metrocops in the game and one of them has blood on them and their visor is off. Yeah, it's just like Uprising. Is that an Entropy Zero Uprising reference? Wasn't Bloody meant to appear in another mod that isn't EZU? Yes, I believe that is Contamination Zero Lambda's mod. Why aren't you going down there? You guys. Why do I have to go? They're just telling me to go down there? Why can't they go? They outrank me? Hi, Ellen. Welcome. I'm playing the original Protector Redux right now, Ellen. I intend to play your port of Protector Redux after that, although we're about an hour into stream and I think I'm not very far into Protector Redux. So we'll see if I have enough time to actually get to the port. Hopefully I do. But my intent was to compare and contrast the port with the original. We gotta knock out the other guy's eye. Dova Courts, out of context, that sounds awful. If someone doesn't know what you're talking about, that sounds like crazy. Ow. Took fall damage. How was I supposed to get down there? A revolver. I think this also has the Entropy 02 animations. Yes, it absolutely does. Oh, that's a... I almost didn't know I could open that door. It's okay if you don't have enough time. I would really like to play your port. One thing I mentioned at the beginning of stream is that a lot of times when I see things labeled as ports in the workshop, they're not really ports. And that isn't true of your port of this. Like, you actually put the work in to make it function. So I wanted to kind of like break it down and review like how it compares with the original, how you had to adapt things, that sort of stuff. How do I... Okay, that was weird. It's kind of fun. Little swim. If I had a penny for every time we had to remove Combine's eyes in this stream, I'd have 2 pennies. When was the first time it happened? I'm concerned. I don't like how the revolver comes first in the HUD. Uh-oh. Oh, man. Why is my aim so bad? Come on. I missed... That's just embarrassing. Okay. Not this stream. Previous one, Scar 1. Oh, yeah. Wow, I lost a lot of health. That was entirely my bad. That was a skill issue. I missed, like, every single shot with the revolver. There's some weird issues that I can't replicate in my own modding environment, so if you're unlucky enough, you might get one of them when you play the port. That's exactly why I wanted to play the Garry's Mod version first, and I am curious about that. What are these for? That's weird. 2 buttons. I'm interested in trying to fix some of those. I was wondering if perhaps, do you have a custom folder, so you might have different files from what people on the workshop have. I know that's like the first thing to ask, but just to make sure that isn't what's going wrong. Oh, they're taking cover. There's like standoff behavior and stuff in this. That's good, good AI design. Game AI. So much for our last hope. So he said the death line for Gordon Freeman because the player died. It's kind of interesting. They probably can't really... Oh. Load protector. That's weird. I forgot that there's no loading in this. Make NPCs be able to climb stairs would only be possible with map logic, or would it be possible to make it dynamic? You mean ladders, right? It is. So there is a navigation in the code for climbing ladders. It's what the fast zombies do when they climb up those pipes. And I believe in... Oh man, I'm forgetting the details again. I think map-base adds animations for all NPCs to use climbing. I know Blix implemented it. I've seen Blix actually made NPCs be able to dynamically climb up and down stairs. I forget if that's in like the current... What? Load protector. I don't know if that's in the current map-based version or not. I would have to... You'd have to look at like the patch notes for map-base. But I think map-base has it. And yes, you can do it. Oh, it's so weird that I can't like save and load wherever I want to because this is a multiplayer game. That's unusual. I guess this time I can do the fight better. Or not, or I can just run at them with the stun stick. Do you know if they use the Alex animations? I think they do. I don't remember. It's been a little bit. Again, I'd look in the map-based patch notes, and if it's not there, then I guess that's not something that's like available. But I know Blix was working on it at one point. I don't understand why it needs to load checkpoints manually, since the GMI Hunt series did similar things but automatically. What is that exactly? I thought you said Ghost Hunt at first. Is that like, do they need a special custom game mode to load and save? I don't know how it works in Garry's mod. I can just like save, can I? Yeah, saves. I'm not gonna mess with that. I think the screen effect for the NVG is still on, even though, yeah, it is. You play Half-Life Alyx? Absolutely. I think that's my favorite Half-Life game, actually. Climbing on NPC would be possible, but it's tricky to get it to work. It is like a navigation method that's in source, so it can be done. It is tricky. I think it was added to map base, if I'm not mistaken, or will be added. I get really confused. Is there a method for adapting a bunch of animations from one skeleton to another? Yes. I don't know a lot about it, though. I might be the wrong person to ask. Because most Half-Life 2 NPCs have more or less the same skeleton. So you can transfer them. Sometimes they don't look right, and they need to be adjusted. I think there's also a tool that comes with the Source SDK that helps you do that, and I would need to ask. We need to phone a friend about that. I also know that you can bone merge models. Like you can bone merge a prop dynamic or a ragdoll to a NPC. But that's not exactly what you're asking for. But sometimes that can work. Played with a no VR mod for best experience. Play with the Merciless Combine mod from Workshop. That's probably good for no VR. I don't know if I've played any mods like that because they can be so difficult in VR. Okay, I opened the secret passage. They have like a stone slab that moves out of the way. What is this, like the Temple of Doom? What the heck? I'd like to do something as a personal asset for use on the Combine Assassin and some Scar Zero replacements. I'm curious what the Scar Zero replacements will be. Are you thinking of like adding the kick attack or something different? Well, Combine soldiers can already kick. That's right, there's an animation for that. Oh, I almost stepped onto the elevator. What kind of elevator is this? What? That's not up to OSHA standards. Oh. Oh no. Okay, I just realized AutoMod caught one of your messages. Wait, let me get this guy first. I have to do it. I'm sorry.
Now!
No. That should have been one hit. But yeah, sorry. AutoMod, you said I'd be interested in doing the same thing for the Combine Soldier animations. I'd like them to look good in female animations. And AutoMod flagged your message for misogyny. No. AutoMod is doing its best. I appreciate it, AutoMod. But it's a little confused, but it's got the spirit. Because I can see why it might think that you meant something completely different. But no, that's I should flag that as allowed. Wait, allow. There we go. You play the Half-Life 2 campaign through map base because of the animations on the NPCs. That's actually really cool. Does it actually, like... So first of all, how do you play the camp? Like, do you just copy the maps to the map-based template? Or do you have, like... Did you have to do anything to get it to work? That could be really good testing data for Blix. If you want to put a comment on, like, the MapLabs ModDB. If you have any, like, crashes or any bugs in the campaign. Because that was something he was always really curious about, is like, how do you test regressions or backwards compatibility with Half-Life 2? He can't exactly like run through the whole game every single release, you know. So that'd be cool to know if you found any issues playing through. Oh shoot, I did not see that guy there. There we go. Copied the maps, the Half-Life 2 campaign, and pasted them in the map-based episodic maps folder. So far worked with no problems. That's actually really good news. That means with all the changes that map-based made, it's still compatible with base Half-Life 2. Once 8.0 releases, I'm replaying just to see the HEV legs. That's awesome, actually. I like the legs feature. I feel a little bitter about it because I'm like, in the future, like, I'm really interested in VR, and of course you don't want to see your legs in VR. Sort of. I mean, it's kind of a loaded question in VR if you want to see your legs or not. Yeah, it'll be a cool feature going forward in map-based mods to always be able to see your player model, your legs. Goodbye, saves. Hello, legs. Yeah, no, the saves breaking is really sad. That's going to be something we have to... These guys are so useless. Like, they really just took a break right here and sent me through that whole way. You guys gonna follow me, or you just chilling? Where am I even supposed to go? I'm sorry, I got lost in the vines. Okay. Oh, I see. They go to the elevator. Okay. So we're gonna hit the elevator button. Yeah, dealing with all saves breaking after 8.0 is gonna be a bit of a challenge for us. Well worth it in the long run, but something that I'm very conscious of. Oh no, do we have to go down a comically large staircase? No, it's just a regular staircase. Okay. You guys coming, or... I don't think they actually follow me. I think they just have, like, triggers or something. Okay, now they're following me. Excuse me. You guys are the worst cops ever. It's holding that SMG-1 like a pistol. You gotta use the vertical grip. Who would design an elevator like this? It is a cool way to gate the player to get the NPCs, but I don't understand, like, the in-universe explanation for why you'd have an elevator that requires 2 buttons to be pressed. Oh, level transition. So we must be in, like, the 3rd map now? Oh, we're in the 4th map. Okay, so we're getting near the end. So far, we know we're in City 9. There's rebels here. It seems like there's something strange going on. Like, I've seen some really weird graffiti. There's some Vortigaunt graffiti. I haven't seen any Vortigaunts yet. And there was graffiti mentioning someone called Iris. I spent 6 months trying to port the Entropy 02 Combine animations to the regular Half-Life 2. When I saw that map-base had the corrected animations, I thought, why not try to play the whole game here? Then I put the maps... Yeah, it's really cool that you did that. And actually, it's really, really good to know that, that it works. And what was I going to say? I was going to say something else. Oh yeah, the animations being in common between Entropy 02 and map-based makes a lot of sense because, of course, we're using map-based. So a lot of those animations are from map-based rather than from Entropy 02. I think a handful of them are originated in Entropy 02, but it's the same guy, right? Like, it's Blix making map-based and Blix working on those animations in EZ2. So kind of it's not a coincidence that they're the same. Fun fact, they don't actually follow you or use the player squad system. They're just doing a scripted sequence. Yeah, I noticed that. This will remain the same until the last map. So, Alan, question about your port. Did you change that to have them use follow behavior, or did you keep it the same? 20 gigabytes of mods from the workshop in map base. That's actually kind of impressive. I would say you should release that as like a mod pack, although you shouldn't, because you need like permission from the creators to do. But if you have like the proper attribution, like you reach out to the creators, you should like redistribute that somehow. It'd be pretty cool. I get man hacks. I've got to make sure that I save these until I need them. I'm curious if these work the same as they do in Entropy Zero. My dudes. Nuclear launch confirmed type elevator. Yeah, like the only explanation I can think of is that the rebels deliberately set it up that way so they couldn't have one person go in. Like, maybe if this is like a secret area. But what do you mean by that? Are you talking about... They're talking about Roller 1, right? Or I can make a list of all the mods installed. It's just graphical mods. Yeah, in the workshop, you can easily make it like a collection, but you're not actually playing it on the workshop, so it's more confusing. Maybe you could have like a script to like copy all of the workshop add-ons into your map base folder and like distribute that. I don't know. I have an idea in mind, but it's like, maybe that's just too convoluted. I had a dream of an alternate reality where everyone ditched base Half-Life 2 modding and instead opened Game Banana for a map-based version of Half-Life 2. Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense because map-based offers so many new features for mappers. It's like, it's hard for me to go back. I'm like, I kind of want to leverage the Half-Life 2 workshop, but how am I supposed to use the Half-Life 2 workshop if I have to give up all these tools that we've gotten over the years from map-based? It's also why I like don't make anything for Garry's mod. It's like we have all these new abilities in map base that I've grown accustomed to. You missed my message earlier about a possible mods. Yeah, resend it. Sorry. It's really easy to miss messages because there's just a lot going on. Why is he holding the SMG like a pistol? This guy has a unique firing stance. Gmod has Lua. Yeah, I'm sure for a lot of Gmod creators, they're the same way with Gmod. It's like, how could I make Half-Life 2 maps without Gmod? Because it has Lua, it has, like, you can mount content from all the games, it has, like, increased map limits and things like that. So, I'm sure for a lot of people, like, Gmod is the go-to platform. I've seen a lot of Garry's Mod maps ported to VR chat. And it's always so trippy to be in VR chat and then go into a level and start to recognize like source engine textures and source engine sounds. I'm like, wait, I've been here before. I've played these games before. Ow. Uh-oh. Off topic, what do you think about a Half-Life 2 mod set in France, specifically Paris or something like that? Paris would be a great location because it's got recognizable landmarks. Uh-oh, the add-on Protector Redux content is creating errors. Check the problems menu for details. This is new. Lua Protector stun stick attempt to index local ATT a nil value unknown. So if the script fails, can I still retry it? I think you can. That's really interesting. It's a lot like squirrel errors in VScript, you know. The Catacombs would be a cool location in Half-Life 2. I would love to see more Half-Life 2 mods set in unique locations. Like, a lot of Half-Life 2 mods stick to the City 17 kind of setting because that's what Half-Life 2 is about, right? Like, that's where all the assets are focused around. So it makes sense. Like, it's not a coincidence that Half-Life 2 mods tend to look like Half-Life 2. Like, obviously they're going to reuse the assets from the game. That's what being a mod is. But I think setting it in like different countries, like having like a Half-Life mod set in Japan would be really interesting, or set in China. Have a Half-Life 2 mod where you are in Egypt. I don't know, like just go to like any random country. It would be really, really interesting to see like how different places were affected by the events of Half-Life, the Resonance Cascade, and the 7-Hour War. So I'd really like it. I missed some messages, sorry. Chat is popping off today. Thanks for joining, guys. This has been a great stream so far. You don't need to give on the workshop. I do like this. Subscribe to the mod on the Steam Workshop. Go to the content folder. Yeah. So that's how you would like copy the add-ons. Find the mods workshop. Rename the VPK. Yeah, because you can reuse the VPKs in MapBase if you change gameinfo.txt. Cut and paste the VPK files into the custom folder, or that works, of your game directory, and you use the MapBase episodic version. That makes total sense. It would be hard to like give instructions to do that to someone else, especially if they're not like familiar with modding or they don't install files a lot. I'm always surprised by how few people like know how to use a file system on a computer. It seems so like fundamental, but I tried to kick and protect a Redux and then remembered that not all Combine mods use the EZ2 kick, and you did no clip. Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't done that, to be honest. That's another thing that I'm really excited about in the EZ2 port. Paris also has a history of having resistance networks. It's similar to how, like, part of the reason Sofia was chosen as the reference for City 17, at least in the Half-Life 2 documentary, they say, they talk about it being like a city that's always been occupied by empires over the centuries, and so the Combine is like the latest iteration of this cycle of subjugation. So I think Paris having similar history makes a lot of sense for a Combine city. I do kind of wonder, like, are the Combine localized to Eastern Europe? Are they in Western Europe? Are they all over the globe? Like, we have no idea. Even in Half-Life Alyx, like, Alex is drawing question marks all over the globe. Like, are the Combine here? Is it just Zen? What even happened here? She doesn't really know. I think EZ2 is currently like the easiest access to make map-based add-ons since it's on the workshop. Kind of the reason why I mod it so much, and I can't wait to get the protagonist system. Yeah, I'm really happy to hear that, because that was my motivation for adding workshop support, you know. And I'm really glad that people have actually found that as a space where they can make add-ons. Sorry, that was a lot of yapping and not a lot of Protector Redux. I think we're gonna rejoin with Roller 1 here pretty soon. I'd love to play a mod in France. Yeah, like, part of the problem for me is, like, I feel like I want to, if I'm gonna pick, like, a unique location, I want it to be a location that I'm familiar with, you know, or have some sort of connection to where I can, like, know how to make it look like that location. Which doesn't give me a lot of options for myself, right? Like, I don't have a lot of interesting places that I have that kind of knowledge of. Like, I don't know enough about France to make a mod set in France, that sort of thing. I don't have, like, reference photos. Every time I go on vacation, I'm taking pictures of, like, places that could be a reference for a Half-Life 2 mod. Like, I remember when I went on the trip to Pennsylvania recently, I saw this really interesting door, and I stopped and I took a picture of the door, and my friends must have thought I was actually insane. It wasn't even like a cool, like a well kept up door. It was very industrial, but that's why I wanted a picture of it. I was like, this looks like a Half-Life 2 map. In the next map-based version, have the Entropy 02 Combine animations? Like, which ones? Like, doesn't it already? Like, what's missing, actually? Like, it might be, maybe the head turning is only in Entropy 02? I haven't actually checked recently the differences. I know you can look on the model sources repo to see the difference between EZ2's version and map-base's version. But I haven't really, like, familiarized myself with that recently. Secondary idle? Oh, what's that? I believe it because, like, I know EZ2 has its own separate animations file. I just can't remember what things we put in that and what things are in the shared animation file. Here's Roller 1. It's like they're expecting him to stay put. He's still blocked by that force field. I kind of wish they had used, like, a different force field color, like make the force fields yellow or something to say, like, oh, these force fields are blocking the Combine. Hello. It's kind of awkward. awkward. That was also kind of awkward. Sorry, Doc. I need to stop switching to my stun stick whenever I sneak up on them. Sorry, Doc. Yeah, you can tell, like, they can't really, like, change the response rules for the citizens, so they still have all their responses for talking to Gordon Freeman. That's something we had to, like, go through and disable in EZ2. So in the EZ2 port, the citizens probably won't say, sorry, Doc, or things like that. Although they could also disable player push away on the citizens, and they probably should have. I think we turned that off in most of the EZ2 maps. What is this? It's a doorway with a brick wall in it. Did this used to be a passageway and then it was like bricked up? Like what? What's the story here? Or was it always, is this just a wall? I assume this is a doorway, but maybe that's just what the wall looks like. Interesting. In an alternate reality, Blixabon is Garry and he merges map base into Gmod. Oh, can you imagine? Gmod map base? Map base in Gmod 1? Is that supposed to look like that? Average household with a door that leads to a brick wall? Exactly. Am I crazy or is that not supposed to look like that? I feel like something has gone wrong here. That doesn't look like that's supposed to look like that. Are we not supposed to be here? Like... Combine heaven. We did it, chat. We found Combine heaven. Right by the force field. Yeah, I saw you. I know. But let me... Oh. Oh. Oh, psych. Psych. Okay, let me loot this crate first. Oh, I actually didn't need that ammo. You can have it.
Oh, it's good to see some friendly faces.
Good to see some friendly faces.
Actually, I found a map while I was getting over here. Our point of interest should be right at the end of the road.
The end of the road? I mean, that is a point of interest.
Let's get this shit done with.
That sure looks like a point of interest. It's the void. Imagine if Gmod had the friendly fire lines enabled. There's probably an add-on for that, honestly. Oh, like you're playing this map and then you shoot a rebel and hear them say, "We trusted you." Maybe they're saying that they trusted civil protection. Oh, I see. It's an area portal. Oh. Thanks for following. Welcome. I like how he can just call these two cops lines because they're line 8 and line 86. Yeah, so the reason that looks bright white is because that's what's called an area portal, and it basically lets the map only render half of the map and then de-render the other half. But it wasn't properly working. Okay. Okay. We're breaching this door. No time to talk about source engine. I can loop around? No, I can't loop around. I think we got him, though. Sometimes the NVG fails and it leaves the screen effect on. That's just for reference for the stream, though. That's not part of Protector Redux. That's a separate add-on I installed.
Alright, this looks interesting.
Where are the other Metro cops?
Get the door down.
They're just chilling? They're just vibing over there? They're not even helping? Those guys are so lazy, wow. I mean, I guess it makes sense if you're in civil protection, you want to do as little as you can possibly do. Like, you already sold out all of humanity. You probably are just, like, in it for yourself, so it makes sense. Ready? Ready, guys? Let's go.
Jackpot. This looks important.
Does it? Looks like a container. Maybe the container is important. I don't know what's in it.
Here.
Wait a minute. Oh, why am I... Is this an invisible wall?
Oh my god. Lisa, take a look.
Wait a minute.
Do you know what this means? The suppression fields. Get on board here. We cannot let the convoy know about
Wait
this.
a minute.
This was
So
safe
I have some
between
thoughts
you
about this.
and me. Fuck. I'll come up with a story.
Please don't kill the baby. If they kill the baby, I'm gonna be, like, extremely upset. Like, that would be... Please keep the baby safe.
Come on, Victor. Let's get out of here.
What are you gonna do about the baby? You can't just... Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm, like, actually very concerned for this infant right now. So it's the Swelter baby. They use the same model. I think this might be literally the Swelter baby, because it was also in a container on a train car, right? So I think this is the container from Swelter. Like, this is the Swelter baby. Because it's got, like, the same blanket too, right? From Swelter. What are they gonna do? Like, you can't... Please do not tell me they're gonna leave this baby in here. That's crazy. Suddenly, I'm, like, really concerned about this add-on. Okay, as long as the rebels get back to the baby, okay? Then we're good. We're just gonna... Can we just stop shooting them? Can we all agree there's a baby? I think you just killed the mother. I hope not, because it would be... The mother was a character in Swelter, I think. So I don't think it's the same. Love the gun sounds on Entropy Zero. Yeah, me too. I wasn't expecting a story tie-in with Swelter, but that's actually really cool. If that is intended to be the same, like, the same baby from Swelter. Because in that story, there was, like, a couple that was able to have a baby, even though there's a suppression field. I think this is meant to tie in with that. Please just let the rebels take care of the baby. I don't want to fight this anymore. That's my biggest criticism of the mod at this point is, like, please don't have the characters just abandon a baby in a train car. That just seems horrible to me. I'm very uncomfortable with that. It kind of says what kinds of people these are, that not one of them was like, hey, what do we do about this baby? They don't even care. There's the guys that are actually soulless. Like, I mean, we know they're Combine, but, like...
Oh, fuck. Looks like we're safe for now. I'll go for a train.
They sold their soul. Yeah, exactly. I have to go sleep now. Good stream and awesome chat. Best wishes. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. And thanks for chatting with me about the throwing the grenades back feature that you worked on too. I do appreciate the chat. Hopefully you can join streams in the future. I do some mapping streams. But yeah, have a good one for sure. Did any of these cops get memory replacement? So obviously they're not Combine soldiers, but in Entropy 02 we kind of allude to the fact that we think Metro cops probably get memory replacement as like a intermediate step, and then of course obviously in Uprising that's like a big feature too. Through the water, you replace your memories with the water cans. So we don't know. Do these guys drink Breen's Private Reserve? Do they have memory loss? We don't know. Did they accept memory replacement? No idea. I think the baby got left. Yeah, I think the baby did get left behind. The Combine would be able to see this through the helmet cam replay. That's a good point. I think of memory replacement as the reason for the existence of Husk cops. That's a good theory. That's all I can't really say. Protect and serve changed to enslave and torture. It's a bit on the nose, but that's valid, yeah. Oh, it's interesting. This is a Combine soldier with a zombine texture on him, like he's all bloody. Interesting.
Remember, we keep that between each other, not a word said.
Oh, okay. Oh, goodness.
It's your life. The drive is fucking dead.
Was that a rebel sniper or was that a Combine sniper? So I haven't seen much of these guys' personalities. Are they maybe more deployable than bloody? Okay, yeah. On their own, I would like without the talk about the baby, I would say these guys are not as bad as most of the EZU characters because they seem like they're just sort of people that are in this role. Like they join civil protection to get better food and privileges and whatever. And they don't really seem like they're ideologically aligned with the Combine. So they're bad, but they're not as bad as like Bad Cop, who's obviously really bad. But leaving a baby behind in a train car with no one to look after it, that's actually the worst. So these guys, with that scene in mind, these guys are literally the worst. Like you don't get worse than that. But if we just take, oh, I have Combine soldier arms with the grenades for some reason. Oh, I forgot about my man hacks. Wait, let's try out the man hacks. I gotta test them out. It works similar to the Entropy Zero man hacks. Just they're not blue, but they also have very low health. I have not very much health left. Oh, I'm dead. I'm dead. You have died. Load protector. But yeah, I would say that these guys seem like they're not as bad as most of the pro-Combine characters that we know, because they seem like they're just sort of selfish jerks, right? Like they're just trying to do their missions to get perks or whatever, which that makes them bad, but they're not like the worst that they can be. Them not being blue makes sense. I do wonder why Breadman had the manhacks blue in EZ1. I mean, it's probably just to keep with the color scheme. You could probably say it's because City 10 isn't connected to Overwatch, right? Although that makes me question why the rebel thing that controls the turrets doesn't also control the manhacks. Never thought about that before. Let me just preemptively place a manhack over here.
Remember, we keep that between each other, not a word said.
Uh-oh. Wait, so I'm really curious if that was a Combine soldier. I'm wondering if there's like some kind of conspiracy going on here where he saw too much so they had to kill him. I think that was probably meant to be a rebel though, because that makes a lot more sense in the context. I associate the colors so much with like the Combine, like the rebel snipers in EZ2 have orange tracers. Yeah, the chief died. Killed by a sniper. Why did the sniper kill the chief and then stop? Why wouldn't he kill the rest of us too? Yeah, it's just like the sniper in that video you made. Play devil's advocate here, but I think them leaving the baby in the container was more of an in-the-moment decision. If I saw a baby for the first time in 20 years, I'd have my judgment skills impaired. That's true. I guess I'm more upset about it as a writing decision than anything. Yeah. I guess it makes sense. These guys are not exactly good guys. They're not gonna be concerned about the well-being of some child. That's not their priority, right? But just from a writing perspective, like I feel like there's certain subjects where it makes it uncomfortable, right? If you're playing this and you see a baby, you know? I just think they should have written it in such a way where you'd know that the baby is okay. Like in Swelter, there is no such discomfort because, you know, you're actually protecting the baby in Swelter. Like, you have to protect it from the attack helicopter that comes in, and that's like a really cool scene in Swelter. This is making me want to play Swelter again, by the way. So I just think they should avoid situations where they're putting an infant in peril in Half-Life 2 mods. It just kind of ruins the mood. I know that I'm literally killing a bunch of people, and that should also ruin the mood, but I just think there's different levels of, like, suspension of disbelief and, like, issues and stuff. I don't know. That's just me. If only the baby carrying animations had released sooner, maybe the baby could have been saved. So how come that force field didn't squish us, since we haven't been able to walk through any of the force fields so far? Protector. Oh, I see. So Protector is referring to Protectors of the Infant, right? I didn't really realize that. Thank you for playing. Credits in description. I'll be sure to look at those credits. This music sounds kind of familiar. Is this original to Protector, or is it from something else? Okay, so the baby is fine. Or is it? I think the crib might be empty. Guys, is the baby okay? I think it's okay. Civil Protection doing literally anything but protecting. You're right. Yeah, that's a great idea, PZ2701. Feel free to, like, post about that in the mapping and modding channel, and you can ping me. And I will I can't guarantee I'll take a look at it right away. Things have been kind of busy lately, but I will try to get back to you sometime soon. Hi, John Doc. You just missed Protector Redux. That's the guy that sniped the chief. Oh, he has the sniper rifle. He's the Protector because he killed the chief. But the chief was saying to keep the silence about the baby. Plus the mass caches would inform the Combine about the baby, like was pointed out earlier. He's alone now, that's sad, yeah. I'm glad that the baby is hopefully okay. It's not entirely clear if it's okay. I'm sorry that I'm kind of fixating on that, but I don't know. There's just something really upsetting to me about that idea about Civil Protection finding that baby. Like, that just, like, scares me. I don't know. If they really wanted to, they could use the animations of the Combine soldiers carrying the gravity gun to have them carrying the... Oh, yeah, you're right. If the Combine found out about the baby, who knows what would happen, yeah. But the Combine did find out because 3 of the guys survived and made it out. So, like, their mass caches would be examined, right? Okay, so some criticisms I have. I think the story was actually really interesting. And I wanna dig into that a little more because I liked the story, but I have some criticisms. I think what do I want them to change? it should be clearer what happened. Like, are we intended to believe that the Combine never found out what happened to the baby? Because if that's true, they should have had like a dialogue line where the cops were like, we need to wipe our mask caches so the Combine can't find out. And then if they did that, then it would be like, okay, now we know the Combine will never know. I also think if the chief, if Roller One was the guy who was like, oh, the Combine can never find out about this, we can't tell them. He shouldn't have been sniped. Like, what was the point of sniping him if he was the one who didn't want to tell the Combine? It should have been like Roller One was like, okay, we need to tell the Combine. They need to know. This will be our track for our promotion. And then the other characters should have been like, no, we shouldn't tell them. And then he gets sniped. And then that would make sense that like the sniper was there to basically protect the secret, and that's why you got to go. Maybe. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I think there could have been a lot more clarity in the story. I also would have liked to see more foreshadowing of the twist, because I knew there was something strange was going to happen, but I didn't feel like there was any build up to it. I didn't really suspect that was going to be the twist. That it's the baby is there and they're trying to protect it. I guess that's who Iris is. They're saying the Combine can't find out about Iris. Iris is the baby. The rebel that was inside the container was a female rebel model, so I assumed it was the mother. It depends if that's the mother from Swelter, because in Swelter there was a mother character. And with the sniper guy sitting on the bed looking remorseful, I'm under the assumption that's the father. It could be. And the rebel on the bed did have a helmet that looked kind of like one of the models in Swelter. I don't know. I don't think that the medic was the mother, because I think she had a dedicated character model in Swelter, and I'm assuming this is the same baby. It might be a different baby. We don't really know. But time zone is the reason why I missed stream. Oh, it's okay. You're actually in luck, because I'm gonna replay that whole thing in the Entropy 02 Port version, so you get to see it again. It's 9 a.m. At my place. Yeah, sorry about the time zones, guys. I'm playing this late in the evening in my time zone, but a lot of people, depending on where you are, that can be a very inconvenient time, so I do apologize. The mother in Swelter was female 07 from Half-Life 2. Which one is 07 again? I get them mixed up. I should have them all memorized by now. I'm a fake fan. I need to stop drinking caffeine because it is like 10 p.m. at night for me. Wow, we're almost a full 12 hours away, John Doc. Yeah, so that was my thoughts on the story. I think what I want to do is replay the EZ2 version, and then we can look at it again, take a second look at it, and also we can test out the EZ2 version and see how it fares as a port. How is it? So I'm gonna go ahead and quit Gmod. Let's see here. Oh, that is Steam. I don't like showing my Steam. EZ2. I noticed that the lag of YouTube chat replay is pretty slow. Yeah, sorry. YouTube does have higher latency on chat. I think there might be settings that I can use to change that. I'm not going to change it midstream, though. I might want to look at that after stream. But sorry if there is latency. Places are way too different to be the same. Swelter takes place in the desert, but they're both on the same continent, right? So they could be connected by train. It would be a long train ride. I don't know how far do train lines usually go in Eurasia? Like, can you get from Kazakhstan to? I guess it might not be. Because okay, so let's say City 9 is somewhere like. We don't know. That's the other thing. Is like we have no idea where City 9 is. It looks like City 17, so we'll say it's in the same vicinity as City 17. Would City 17 have a train that would go to, I think it's Kazakhstan or someplace like that, like Swelter? I don't know enough about trains. Like, I've never been to Europe or like Central Asia. Is there a confirmed time on Protector Redux? If I remember correctly, Swelter takes place around 10 years before Half-Life 2. You're right. If it's meant to be closer to Entropy Zero, then the timing doesn't line up, right? So you could be right about that. It's probably a different baby. I don't know how many baby in a crib models there are, so it's possible it's just a reused asset. I think you might be right. You guys are probably right. It's probably not the same baby. I just assumed it was because not only is it the same model, but that kind of like bridges between mods, which I want to see more mods do. I want to see mods like reference different mods, make a whole extended fan canon. Sorry, I bumped my mic. Somewhere close to City 10. That's the other thing, is like, because City 10 is adjacent to City 17, I can no longer assume that the cities are like numbered contiguously. You know what I mean? Like, City 10 is next to City 17. City 9 might not be next to City 10. As for the time, I don't know. You should ask Rag. Maybe I should leave her a little review on the Garry's Mod workshop item. That might be fun. I don't do that enough. Because I didn't even, like, really publicize that I was going to be streaming it today. We're going to play EZ2 Port right now. I should change the category on Twitch before I forget. I remember seeing the progenitors Peacekeepers and instantly thinking it's Roki. Oh yeah, because I think one of them does have glasses like Roki. But no, they're a lot different from Swelter, I think. So I'm going to change the category on Twitch to Half-Life 2. You don't have challenges unlocked? Wait, do I not? Oh my goodness. How did that happen? I must have changed some files somewhere. That's funny. Info Hazard. That's a great name. I missed that title. So, we're pretty far along into stream. I've been streaming for 2 hours. Can I stream another 2 hours? Maybe. We'll try it out. We're gonna try to stream the Entropy 02 port. So for anyone who's just joining, this is gonna be the Entropy 02 port of Protector Redux by Elent. Not the original Protector Redux, but we're gonna see how it works with Entropy 02 mechanics. So let's get right into it.
Hey,
Delete hands.
come over here.
I'd recommend using the short, what's it called, like short logon or something. It's a flag. I think you get elite or Combine Soldier footstep sounds too, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, the NVG looks so much different. I know that's just how it is in EZ2, but I forgot about that.
So just follow me. All three, everything needs to know.
Subtitles are working correctly.
66. Did you meet the new guys? Alliance needs
Ooh, kick is working.
They seem alright. You're gonna come with us.
The NVG looks almost green, and I think that's actually my fault. I think that the NVG, the color correction I picked for the NVG in EZ2 for Chapter 0 is kind of greenish. For some reason I thought the human error hands animation still existed. It does. It still exists in EZ1.
You know, I recall you.
This is a different Metrocop skin.
What we are actually doing. I mean, it is quite simple actually. We're going to City 9, gonna gather some information, and we're gonna leave. That's all.
This is the only part where they use choreography scenes? No! Choreography scenes, my beloved. It's so good too, like all the little animations they do.
Right, let's just get on the train. City's far away, so you'll get some rest on the way there.
So it looks like all the custom assets came through. Yeah, looking good so far. I do worry with like maps like this, like, do all the add-ons have proper attribution for like who made them? I don't want to think about that too much, because I think it's important to credit everyone who's involved. And I know it's hard when you have like tons and tons of assets, but it's also like really, really important to make sure that everyone who contributed something gets credited. I did see the credits were pretty in-depth, so I think it's all covered, but I don't know, like where are these handrails from? Is that from another source game? Is that from some other Garry's Mod pack? I don't know. They sound like back. Yeah, I think they'd probably use a similar vocoder. Actually, since I mentioned attribution, let me just pull up the Steam page. Because I said that was a worry, but I don't think that's a legitimate worry for this add-on in particular, because it does actually say, like, here's help with the scripting, testing, assets. Oh yeah, here's assets. So like, they do contribute, or they do attribute, rather, all the assets that are used from this creator, from Snowdrop Escape / Swelter, and from Entropy Zero, which makes sense. Gesture animation such makes them more like a real person. You mean when they use choreography? Vex, Bloody's, Trader Lead, and Victor's vocoders were released a few months ago. I thought they all used the same process that CW came up with. The posters are from Swelter and Half-Life Alyx. Yeah, I recognize the Half-Life Alyx posters, and I really like them, by the way. They're really good. I'm gonna drink my caffeine irresponsibly. I keep writing Beck's name in full caps. Yeah, because it used to be Broken Eye Cop, so it makes sense that it's like an acronym. But I think his name is literally Beck, which is funny. I think that, I don't know when they came up with that, because originally it was Broken Eye Cop, and then that just became his name. Oh, it's so weird to have a cutscene. Like when it was in Garry's Mod, I was like, okay, it's Garry's Mod, like a cutscene, you know, maybe that's normal, but here it feels so strange. Not that there's anything wrong with it, it's just not usual. Come on, we start out with grenades.
Down the highway. Let's get over it quickly.
I think the... yeah, that works. The fog is still here, of course, because that's like a fog controller in the map. It's not something unique to Garry's Mod. Chapter 1, Search. So I understand the chapter name is better now because the whole mission is you're searching for information, and the information that you actually find is that, spoilers for anyone who just joined for this section, but the information is that the suppression field has like gaps in it.
Override on them. Can I get past them until someone overrides them and I can't be left here? Shit. Alright.
I like this like ash or snow
Right,
that's falling. I'm gonna go ahead and assume it's like spores from Zen, but it could also be ash, or it could be snow. Maybe there's like a light snowfall. I feel like this is somewhere warm though, just because of all the vegetation.
I'll stay here and try to keep in contact as much as I can. Now go!
Sorry I've been talking over Roller 1. We already heard what he had to say. I will say it's weird, but I just feel like more comfortable playing this in EZ2. It's like I've played EZ2 so much that it's just, there's like a comfortable feeling about the mechanics, how the weapons act and everything. I think we get more starting ammo in this version. That's fine. Oh, I'm a Combine soldier, according to my voice lines, right? That's a little confusing. I can kind of see why you set it up that way, because the MetroCop lines might have been... maybe you just didn't like them, or you didn't think they fit, or something. Oh, that screen wasn't working for some reason.
If you find stations like these ones, try to use them. I can try to
I
contact
wonder why that is.
the open some gates around you. Looks like there's a gate next to you. I'm gonna try to open it.
I just realized this text kind of fits because of City 17. The problem with Gmod campaigns is that Gmod kind of has all the sandbox stuff and Lua running in the background, so it's just a weird feeling. That's exactly how I feel. Like, I kept accidentally bringing up the Gmod menu, and it just didn't feel right. I'm too lazy, so I give player class name NPC Metro Police. I thought it was NPC Combine S because I saw in the subtitles Combine Alert, but it looks like you, like, based on that, like when I just said look out, it looks like you did give him class name NPC Metro Police. So I was wrong. But I wonder why I heard the Combine Soldier alert line a second ago. Maybe that's something that the Metro Cops have. Not sure. Or maybe the subtitles just say Combine Alert for Metro Cops. That's probably what it was. Sorry about that. I completely misunderstood that. Yeah, okay, so that is a Metro Cop voice. It's just the subtitles say Combine Alert. So that was completely my bad. I'm sorry about that. The Combine Soldiers and Metro Cops share some generic subtitles. And the EZ2 Combine Soldier reuses lines from the Civil Protection. You're right. It's funny that I commented on that when I'm the one who added in the Combine Soldier lines to the added the Civil Protection lines to the Combine Soldiers. Because I think the voices sound almost identical. If you listen to them next to each other, the vocoders are actually really similar. I've been told they're not the same, but like, just try listening to some Metro Cop lines and some Combine Soldier lines back to back. They do sound very nearly identical. There's nothing stopping me from using my weapon that turns NPCs into gnomes on the rebels while playing in Gmod. That's like the beautiful and cursed thing about about playing it on Gmod. I think you should have turned on episode 1 darkness mode just so that these zombies emitted light. I'm starting to do that more often in maps just because it feels cool. I know it has some performance cost because it uses the light maps in the map, and dynamic lights aren't very efficient. They don't always look very good, but I think it can be cool. Uh-oh, here comes the zombine. It's weird how different this feels from Garry's mod. Like, it's the same map with the same NPCs and everything, but it just feels like different. How the rebels feel when the random cop pulls out a Nyan Cat shooting SMG. Oh, man, the Neon Cat, that video, that takes me back. I commented on this the first go-around, but this custom model of the corpse that's cut in half is so gnarly. That's really gross. Oh, so I just called out that there were citizens, even though I didn't see them, like the characters saw them. I do feel like the Metrocop response system is very chatty for what it is. It's like, since this character is alone, you would think he wouldn't say very much. And if it was a completely custom set of response rules, I would say, you know, have some of these lines only play when you're in a squad, for example. But of course, you don't have the time to make your own entire custom response file, so you're just going to use the Metrocop file. I think that's totally reasonable. Original version uses static supplies. My port uses dynamic ones. What do you mean by that? Like in the supply crates? I actually think using static supplies can be a little better because then the game doesn't like overcompensate for if the player is like using a certain weapon exclusively. Players have to manage their ammo more. Civil protection from City 17 are coming. Many rumors. So they're mostly concerned with protecting the information about the baby from the Combine. So I wonder if Liars is referring to the suppression field in this case, which is interesting. That's kind of a cool angle too, to think that the suppression field on some level might be like propaganda. Like, does it really do what they say it does? It seems like it doesn't actually work if some people are able to still have children. Necrotic Malignant Zone 6. That was a cool line, actually. It'd be neat if the closer you got to the baby, the more stuff you'd find alluding to the baby. I agree. Strollers, baby form. Yeah, I think that would add a lot to the story because I think the mystery was kind of a... What does this mean? What is implied by... What did they mean by this? I don't understand. Are they saying the Combine killed everyone under 21? Because, like, that doesn't... Is it because... Like, what is... Huh? I don't get it. I missed that my first time around. That's fired hostile malignants here. See, these lines are pretty cool, but it's weird that, like, this Metrocop is talking on the radio, but the other ones aren't. You know what I mean? You'd think they would all use the radios. I think the screen... So this screen is supposed to be off at this point, but when we turn it on, we'll see if it turns on. The Combine hates minors. I mean, canonically, yeah, apparently, but... I don't know, it's the graffiti... I feel like I didn't understand the message of that. Oh, this is so foggy. It's dark. I can't see anything. It's so hard to see. What is going on with the lighting in here? What the heck? Is the... Like... Is there something wrong with the light maps in this room? Like... That's weird. Because, like, clearly there's, like, open sky, but there's no light coming in here. I don't understand what I'm supposed to do here. I didn't have that problem the first time around. Maybe this is, like, an optional area. I don't think it's an optional area. Never mind. Hi, Playnet. Welcome. We're playing a custom map that was made for Entropy 02. It's actually a port of a map campaign that was made for Garry's mod. And it's based on Entropy 0, which is the mod that I worked on. But it's made by a different group of people. So it's a port of a custom map to a mod. Some parts that should be bright are actually dark. Yeah, it seems like something went wrong with the lighting, with the radiosity in this area. Is there like a switch that I have to press in this room or something? I can hardly see. You were playing modded BO3. Wait, what's that again? I feel like I'm drawing a blank. Black Ops 3. Oh yeah, of course. How was that? It was a Portal 2 map. Oh, that sounds like fun. I'd love to play like some Source Engine maps in Call of Duty. Chat, I'm stuck even though I just played this. Decided to play Portal 2. You mean you actually played Portal 2 or you played the map in Call of Duty? What am I missing here, guys? I just played this in the Garry's mod version. Oh, you did both. Portal 2 is a classic. Oh, this is what I'm missing. See, I didn't have any trouble spotting that the first time around. I think it's because of the lighting in here that I just got completely lost. It's weird that the lighting failed there. It must be maybe a difference in like one of the materials. Like maybe there's like that like great texture isn't properly letting the light through in this version of Source. He just woke up this really old idea I had for a BO3 Zombies map. Oh, what's that? Is it gonna be Half-Life inspired? They are unbothered that I just shot at them and missed. Kick it. I forgot that I can kick. Come on! Yikes. I can't believe they really just say yikes. Was Bad Cop always being a jerk, or he became a jerk after he lost his daughter? I mean, I think it's a combination. I think on some level, for him being the way he is, like, he was always... There's no way that he wasn't always on some level like that. But I think the circumstances that happened to him really exacerbated the problem. Stay down. That would be a better question for Breadman to answer, because I feel like I know the answer, but he is able to explain it so eloquently. You know? They're everywhere. Stay down, stay down, stay down. Stay down. Okay. You know what, guys, we can actually change the ending of this. We can disarm and order the one rebel to surrender in the room with the baby. A Ravenhole map in Black Ops 3 with Grigori's traps being usable for points and the zombies replaced with headcrab zombies. Dude, that sounds so cool. That would actually be a lot of fun. It's kind of sad, but I never played any Call of Duty after World at War. I never played any of the Black Ops games. Also, we've got a standoff section here coming up. Let's see here. forgot to kick again. What was I supposed to kick? You went and create NPC turret floor. No, that would be cheating. We want to play this as it was intended. Oh man, they got me. Sometimes I do that during replays. I had an idea for that map where 2 player models were rebels and the other 2 were combine models. The situation was so dire that the combine rebels had to create a temporary truce. I could see that, especially if there's civil protection. And that would be a fun idea for like a character dynamic. Summon turret? No. We're not gonna cheat. We're gonna play legitimately. No cheats here. Keeps repeating the same line of dialogue over and over again. I summoned Crabson. You could do that. What did that guy just do? You see that? Yeah, a PvP after a truce. That does sound interesting. That would be a cool character dynamic in a mod. Oh, I'm so dead. I'm literally so dead right now. Oh no. Okay, we're just gonna. That felt a lot more intense than the EZ2 version, probably because the damage values are punched up. The response lines are getting a little annoying, if I have to be honest, because it seems like some of them aren't limited, so the character just keeps repeating them over and over again. I think a custom response system for this character would do wonders. Oh, I wanted to send him into the pit. I didn't know my own strength. There he goes. I have an old map where a bad cop forces an Arbite worker to work with him as like a hostage, so the worker has to open doors. That would be interesting. That kind of reminds me of the worker in Exhumation Zone that you find in the vault. What was happening in the pit? Just there were some zombies in it. Like I don't think there's anything unique. This is just where the fast zombies come from. Looks like some pipes. Yeah, this is Sparta. Actually, there's this feature that I created for Axon Pariah that's in, I think it's in the current public EZ2 branch. If not, it's in 1.8, where if you use a ragdoll magnet right here and you turn on a certain convar, you can kick NPCs near the pit and they will ragdoll and fall into the pit. That would be cool to see. Helpful NPCs to tell me which way to go. Actually, I think this is the wrong way though. Oh, they killed one of the rebels who surrendered. That's so sad. Wait, actually? That makes me feel kind of bad. I don't know. why, but yeah, I think the zombies got one of them.
Traitors. What did I do to deserve this?
You've heard of Ragdoll Magnet. What about NPC Magnet? I think that's called a Zen Grenade. Who's parasitics? So I'm gonna press this button. And now I know this. Okay, the screen works this time. The other screen didn't turn on for the first one of these that we find.
Looks like there's a gate next to you. I'm gonna try to open it.
It's that gate. It doesn't make any sound. I keep forgetting about Zen grenades. That is a common problem we have with Zen grenades. I wish I had a better solution for that. That's why Wilson bugs you to use Zen grenades, but I don't think that is very effective. I'd like to see that dynamic in a Half-Life 2 mod with some rebels and Metro cops set during the final hours of the uprising. That would be a good time for it. Your rebels miss the train or are too far from the train and have to work with Metro cops. That actually does sound like a really cool story. Ooh, a crash. That's not good. Will there be more updates for EZ2? Yeah, of course. Because there's a new map-based version coming out, so like there will have to be updates. Give bad cop C-flu until he uses Zen grenades. That's awful. That's horrible. Let's see where the last autosave puts us. Okay, we're back a ways. Gotta speed run this. No time to kick this guy into the pit. Unless I get him the first try. Okay, we got him. Another issue that I can't replicate on your end. You mean the crashes? Sometimes crashes can be pretty random. Yeah, I'm just gonna try to speed run this. Oh, Ellen, I have a quick question for you. When you made this port, did you talk to the original creators about it? Like, did they know that you ported it? I think it would be a good idea to keep them in the loop about it. Can Max charge stun stick one hit poison zombie? It might be able to. We'd have to test that. Ooh, we got to crash again. This might be it for the playthrough, chat. Let's see if we can pull through. Since you're not the only one, there is something wrong. Yeah, I didn't have any issues with the subtitles, probably because that had to do with the Steam language, because that's like a known bug. They're credited as authors on the workshop page. Oh, you're right. Hello, how do I pronounce your name? Is that Dale? Is that the DH? Or is that... I know I've seen, or no, that's an F at the end. So it was like Delph. I know you're in chat before. I'm sorry. Remind me if you can. Half. Oh, because it's like a smiley. Okay, yeah, half. Welcome back, half. We're playing a port of a Garry's Mod campaign to Entropy 02. Yeah, we're cooked. Do you think if I load an earlier save that that I'll be able to get past that? Maybe I can speed run it. I would like to actually like open up the stack trace and like look at where the crash happened, but I really don't want to do that on stream because I feel like that's just gonna get too lost in the weeds. Okay, so let's speed run this. Manually start the map in the console. Oh, I could, and then I could give weapons. Does that break anything if I do that? You played the Gmod version of this EZ2 Port has all the lights turned up? That doesn't seem right. Is it possible you were playing in LDR mode by mistake? You gotta make sure HDR is enabled. It should be compiled for HDR and LDR, but that's the most common cause of lighting issues I've found is like, maybe it's not compiled for LDR. Nope. Is that nope as in you did compile LDR, Ellen? Or like you didn't? EZ2 sometimes crashes when the Combine soldiers die. That's interesting. Set my EZ2 copy up. Yeah, but is it? It could have to do with your graphics settings. There's equipments if you start a new game on maps. Oh, okay. Maybe I should just do that. Yeah, that might be a better idea. So I will do map protector Redux. Is that 3? I think that's 3. Oh. Ruh-roh. Well. Which one is 3? Because I think this one is 4, right? I mean, I already played them, so I'm not at risk of spoilers. Yeah, this is 4. Okay. Protector Redux 3. Why is 3 missing from the bonus maps menu? Okay. Now it's working. I think it might have to do with the save transition files. What's the name of the Scar Zero map you're making? We have just been calling it Scar Zero. That was like the working title. I'm thinking about calling it Code Quicksand as an alternative. So I guess we got some ammo from that level transition. I can keep playing from here, I think. I'm curious what could be causing that crash. Because that's it's like a pretty game-breaking... Oh.
That's Victor, you damn idiot. And just in time, too. Victor, look.
Code Quicksand Lone Wolf Edition.
You open that game with a show this game. Unfortunately, it's gonna take some time. You'll first our location.
He talks like a disappointed dad. Yeah, he does sound like that. sure where to take cover from, because I know they kind of come from all sides. Soundtrack is good. Is this an original soundtrack, by the way? I keep forgetting. Chief Cop is secretly Bad Cop's dad. I don't think so. Maybe. That's a new headcanon. It's just a theory, a game theory. Where did you find the shotgun? I think the shotgun was, it was like in a side passageway by a pool of toxic goo. Me. These guys don't join your squad, do they? I'm literally watching this during class. You should probably focus on your classes. Traitor Cop leader is secretly Bad Cop's daughter. I know it's like a meme, but it always seems so silly to me when people say stuff like that. Like, how would that even make sense? I mean, I guess it could be. I don't know.
What did I do to deserve this?
Oh. Scar Zero's Bad Cop's cousin. If there's any merit to that, especially with the time frame between EZ and EZU. Wait, I think I missed one. These guys are so lazy. I do wish they used squad mechanics in EZ2. Two, they're here for Iris, Hyde. That makes a lot of sense. How would Ava work in civil protection and Bad Cop not know about it? Yeah, exactly. I mean, I guess to be fair, like, he doesn't know what happened, so there could be like a mix-up like that, but it just would feel too convenient, right? Iris is the baby. So this is a Vortigaunt drawing. So I am curious because there was another Vortigaunt drawing. There were no Vortigaunts in this add-on, so we never get to find out like if there were Vortigaunts here or like what their relation is. One of these rooms if they're locked. Oh, there's a skeleton in there. The elite cop in the EZ2 prologue must be Bad Cop's uncle. Yeah. If you listen to the fandom page, maybe. Yeah, definitely focus on your classes. But thanks for joining. Hope you have a good day. Last time I commented on how silly it is that they just volunteer you to do everything. Okay, I avoided fall damage that time. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, okay, the first draw animation plays, but that doesn't work because there's ammo in this one. This should have the first draw animation disabled on the weapon. Or in the weapon script, either or. Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense. I got 2 for 1. I don't know Black Ops 2, so I'm not familiar with that reference. Yeah, this is where I need to. This is where they have the nuclear launch codes elevator. Shots fired, hostile malignants here. Got him. This stone door seems so silly to me. Oh, this elevator is a hazard. Yeah, the design of this area feels very, like, sort of surreal, abstract. It doesn't really make a lot of, like, physical sense how any of this machinery would work. That's okay for source maps. I think that's pretty typical, but it's cool when it feels more grounded. Thinking of an alternative to the slam or grenade crates in parts that require an explosion. What if you could have a detained rebel supply you with slams? Oh, that'd be kind of cool. Instead of conventional. Yeah, it would also be interesting if you needed to have like a dedicated ammo giver NPC that you keep alive. That could be a cool mechanic because then you get rewarded for like protecting them. I don't think that gameplay makes a whole lot of sense for Bad Cop. I mean, he does do that in the Stalker section in EZ1, but it's always a crate behind the door. And these guys don't join my squad, sad. It would be really interesting to use the actual Entropy 02 squad mechanics with these guys. I guess they're probably NPC Metro Police, which those don't have the squad following behavior. So they would need to be made into Combine soldiers for that. Lost my path here. Come on, guys. It's actually the one on our right because we're facing this way. Oh well. Doesn't really need to be a companion, just have the soldier supplier repel to the place where you need an explosion to continue. Oh yes, that could be like a way to gate that area as well. Will it crash? Oh. Did you guys see that? That was interesting. So it looks like the elevator didn't quite make it. Oh, okay. Never mind. We're good. We're golden.
Last time we saw him was both force fields.
Info hazard. So I guess that is chapter 2, so that's probably why this is where you have to start it from the bonus maps menu. Redux converging sector 9. I wanted to see if they would use the Alex animation for stomping on the head crab, but I think that's only for citizens and combine soldiers. I don't remember if the Metric Ops have that as well. Crabs do have the dynamic interactions. I want to see them stomp on the head crab. I'm just gonna let them fight this because I really want to see the dynamic interactions. They're often off by default, so they might not be turned on in this map. I hope they are, because that would be seriously cool. I think they're just not in the right range for it to happen. I love dynamic interactions. Yeah, the dynamic interactions with the zombies are so cool. Metricops have the zombie push animation. Yeah. Why did he say shots fired if nobody fired a shot? Today we get cooperative dynamic interaction, poison crab climbing back out of the hoster similar to our rest in peace. That would be so cool. I really want to see that. Oh, there's rebels down there.
Hey, I'm here.
More concerned with the rebels. Oops, sorry. Wow, I just fired directly at him. Why do they seem so surprised that he got closer? I don't get. Maybe that's like a joke about like they expect him to be lazy or something. Some of the dialogue lines, like, I don't quite understand what they were going for. The Gnome human animation is a little bit silly. It is, admittedly, a little bit silly. It's one of those things where I kind of, like, I suspend disbelief a little bit. It's cool when it happens. It's similar to a lot of the alien stuff that I set up, where it's, like, it's a little over the top. Like the bull squids eating and the bull squids, like their whole like ecology simulator thing. I may have gone a bit too far in a few places. The hug dynamic interaction, yeah, it's like a Helldivers emote basically. It's crazy to me that this got released with the area portal like that. Like the draw distance on the area portal is just too far. Because if I zoom in, it looks normal, like the way it should look. And that's kind of important to the overall visuals of the scene, right? Like, we're supposed to know that this is, like, the end of the tunnel, and there's, like, this big, like, vista out there, but then it's just... It's the void. I'm really, like, how do you release like that, you know? Like, wouldn't they notice that that was there? I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's only a visual bug. It doesn't really affect the gameplay. Maybe the game crashes if they left it... I don't think it would, because when I zoom in again, like, it fixes itself.
Oh, it's good to see some friendly faces.
He looks cool with, in the dark like that.
Actually, I found a map while I was getting over here. Our point of entrance should be right at the end of the road. Just follow behind me. Let's get the shit done with. Copy.
I do like how they use the eyes on and eyes off so you can distinguish between these two guys. It's like all three of the cops are unique without giving them like silly outfits, you know? Try to get the good ending. Yeah, I was planning on it, actually. You beat me to it.
Lines.
36.
From the eyes. I'll get this gate open. Let's see here. Stand back, Victor.
Where's that model from? I don't recognize that in Half-Life 2.
And... now!
What was that? I'm just gonna throw this gun into the void so they can't pick it up. Are there any other weapons I should throw away so they don't have them? Okay. Just throw that. I have to confiscate all their weapons. Oh, he dropped his gun. He should be restricted from dropping weapons because he's, like, out of the way and you need to kill him to progress. I just realized because you have to kill all these guys to progress to the next scene, this might not work, depending on how, Ellen, how you handled this scene. Yeah, are we soft locked now? Because it wants me to kill all the citizens, which I do not want to do. Can I kick this? No, I can't kick it. Why is the door not kickable now? Okay, I think you need to kill all these citizens, which, with the existence of the surrender system, is kind of weird. I'm sorry about this. I really don't. Okay, now it works. Yeah, Ellen, you should add a condition for making these guys surrender. Otherwise, that's like really weird. Okay. You ready for this, guys? We're gonna get the good ending this time. Oh wait, that is a unique model, isn't it? That doesn't look like the normal citizen model. Is that just me? Am I crazy? So maybe that is from Swelter. Like, I think it's believable that these could be the same guys from Swelter because it's in a container, right? So they like shifted it. Ellen, I'm gonna be like genuinely mad if you didn't make a condition for sparing the person in here. Yeah, like we're just gonna end stream if we can't spare them. Like honestly, that's so messed up. Genuinely messed up. Let me in. Let me in. Open the door with end fire. That's a good idea, actually. So if there's like a counter, okay. So let me just text. Yeah, we're going into developer mode now. And text math counter. Finale counter is, I think, where is it? Train counter or bunker counter. Any of those could be it. It's probably, well, it's probably not any counter because it's probably just her, right? So I need to know what her outputs are on death. I don't remember how to query for those. I don't think you can really. Maybe. Ellen, I need help. How do I bypass this section? I use Endfire to close off the bunker doors in the Lapland map. Picker. Yeah, but what would I do with Picker? Like, I can't see the IO on. Because if I do, like, okay, end text on this one, right? Oops. That didn't seem like it worked. What? And text on NPC citizen. So that's, they're called hero, which is interesting, but I don't have any way to see what their outputs are. Kill the doors, but I think that'll break the sequence if I do that, XD, because there's probably like logic tied to this button. Maybe I can, okay, wait, what if I like press the button? And fire, picker, unlock. Okay. Yeah, we might be stuck here, guys. Yeah. She's a custom medic. Yeah, I noticed. I think that's supposed to be a character from Swelter, but I might be mistaken about that. I could be wrong. I think this is where we end. Like, I genuinely don't think there's a way forward in this. I think the VMFs are included with the add-on. Like, I can like open it up in Hammer and see how this works. Finale counter. It's because you surrender the female. Yes, I want to surrender the female rebel. So like, what would I need to do to keep the map going? I think we're permanently soft locked, guys. What if I just force these doors open? Like, I can do fire, picker, open. And text, bunk door. No. What about, like, sequences? Oh, yeah, okay. I didn't expect there were actually people trying to do... Why'd you, like... What? That's a feature in EZ2. You can make rebels surrender. Ruler 1, press B. That's what I want. So I'm gonna do begin sequence. It seems like it's still stuck. Maybe inspect. Let's do inspect. One, inspect, begin sequence. So as long as you keep her alive, you'll be soft locked here. I guess we're ending stream then. Yeah, that's my number one bug. Like, I think that's more important to me than the crashes. If you can't make her surrender, then you need to either disable the surrender mechanic or like. I know it might come as a like a bit of a double standard because we do have that issue in chapter 0 of EZ2 where the same thing happens. You're not allowed to order the cop to surrender. But this feels a little bit different. Like, you should be allowed to order this rebel to surrender. That's like a mechanic. I don't know. I'm really upset about this. So that ends the map. So feedback on the port. I'd like to see more EZ2 specific features like what was I gonna say? The follow behavior, maybe with the Metro cops. I think a custom response system would work really well for this protagonist. I know that's a little bit extra. Otherwise, I think it works very well. The mechanics feel right at home with this map because it was designed to feel like Entropy Zero. What else was I gonna say? No, I think that about covers it. I think the number one thing that I was hoping that we could change with this would be improving that ending a little bit, just the awkwardness of it. Because it comes as such a shock. I'm like, that's such a weird thing for them to find the baby in there. Haven't seen the normal ending yet. Yeah, it'll be in the VOD. But it normally, you know, not much different happens. It's just that you have to kill this citizen to progress. I feel like I'm to blame. No, I was planning on kicking and like ordering her to surrender. That was the plan all along. Let me see if there's anything else I can do, because I thought there'd be some way to like cheese this, but I don't think so. Maybe roller one. Wait, let's see. Roller one door sequence. Can you complete the game? No, I can't. I'm stuck. And fire baby save, yeah. Let me think, how else can I do this? Because there has to be a way to like cheese it. I just need to know what outputs she would fire on death, but I don't think there's a way to like view outputs. Are there VMFs in the add-on? A quick check. No, there's no VMFs available either. This is kind of disappointing. I know, right? Is there like maybe a choreographed scene or something? Like, select a choreographed? No. It's got to be like a relay or something. What even? Okay. It's a funk door rotating. Oh, okay. So what if everything only fires after she dies? Okay, then we're not going to continue then.
Let's see.
Okay, we finally got it. There we go. Oh, we're stuck again. It was a good try. We'll try it one more time. So I think this is right when we're about to kick the door, right? Oh. Okay. So she actually opened the door for us that time. That's kind of funny. And I think, let's see. There's no button there. There's a prop door rotating. thought that was a prop door rotating. No, it's a funk door rotating. That's right. Funk door rotating. It's called Iris Gate, so I guess the baby is named Iris. If we, so if we force that open, right, and fire Iris Gate, open. He plays the line, but it doesn't actually go to the sequence. Yeah, he's like stuck for some reason. Why is he stuck? Bro, why won't he like go in there? If I teleport roller 1. What's roller 1 doing? The schedule fail. We gotta edit the map and make weapon suitcase be a baby view model instead. Yeah. And fire roller 1. Press B. Begin sequence. Okay. That's okay. That's a good start. And we do roller 1. Inspect. Begin sequence. Okay. We got it. Just make sure she's no weapons around. Okay. Okay, we got to this scene. For some reason his voice stopped working. I wonder if all the voice lines stopped. This will stay between you and me, so the other two guys don't know about it. Why did his voice stop playing? Like, that's really strange. Okay, so now, in our alternate reality, the hero, as she's called, is still alive because she was detained. So she's with the baby, and she's okay. Like, she's right here. She's fine. So now we can rest easy and continue on with the story. We fixed the problem, chat. You saved the hero's life in exchange for Roller One's voice. That's really good. Bro literally prevented a canon event for sheer willpower. There's no way I was gonna keep playing like that. Like, no. That would actually be my biggest, like, story change I would recommend. I know, like, when you're porting something, you shouldn't change the story, but, like, just make her surrender the second you see her, and then everything is good, right? Like, you don't need, like, instead of having you shoot her, just have her, like, surrender. That is kind of changing the author's vision a lot, because I think the characters shooting her is, like, a big point in the story. To me, it's just too dark, though. Like, I don't like the idea of, like, they're killing the mother. I guess it's a canon event. I guess that's, like, part of the baby's story, but it just makes me really uncomfortable. Breaking script to keep the mother alive? Yes, I did it. So she's alive now. I guess it also kind of ruins the ending that we'll see in a minute, but it'd be nice if you can complete the game without killing the mother. Okay, I'm starting to change my mind a little bit. I was very stubborn about it, but I do see that, like, the mother dying is part of the story as written by the original developers, so we probably shouldn't change that. However, I really like the idea of player agency and being able to, like, arrest citizens. It's part of making it an EZ2 mod, right? Where are we supposed to go? I actually lost my directions here. I think I went the wrong way. What if Iris is... There's no output that fires when citizens surrender? Yes, there is. We use it in Chapter 2 when you take the workshop. There's like logic that actually counts if you either kill or order surrender on the citizens. So that's how we do it in chapter. I think I said chapter 2. I don't know what's going on with my head right now. It's chapter 4, map 2 in the workshop. Not the Steam workshop, the place called workshop in EZ2. And there's like an output where it's like if they die, it increments a counter, or if they are surrender, it increments a counter. But it makes sure to only count like once per citizen, so it doesn't double count them. You can see how I set that up. That was kind of a headache to work through back in whenever I did that, but yeah, it is possible. But yeah, I can see the argument for like you shouldn't change the author's intent if it's part of the story that we're assuming the mother, maybe it's not the mother, we don't really know, but if she is supposed to die in the story, you probably shouldn't change it. I think it would be nice to let players like order her to surrender. Just makes the whole thing like a little bit more palatable. It's still a dark story. It's still really tragic what happens, but it's like, I don't know. I just think that was a bit much in my opinion. What if Iris is going to be the protagonist of a sequel where you hunt down 66? Yeah, we could have just like changed her entire story by doing that. You guys are right, but I don't know. I got too lost in the moment trying to rescue her. What if baby is Bad Cop's daughter and the mother is... I wonder why all the dialogue is broken now. Like, what did I do that broke the dialogue? I do like, is he alright? Like, I feel like that's a very human reaction to that. Okay, now I gotta deploy the man-hacks. Let's go. Let's go, my man-hacks. Whoa. Man-hacks be upon ye. I missed some chat messages, but I also want to, I'm like in combat, you know? There's some weird issues with sounds not being pre-cached. I can see that happening depending on how the sounds are loaded. What you can do for that is just like place an ambient generic with the sound in the map somewhere and don't even call it, and that will make sure that it gets pre-cached. You may have to ask the author if they'd be okay with adding that in the port, since this was originally a Gmod map. The surrender system doesn't come with Gmod. Yeah, I would definitely be interested to hear the author's intent. Like, how do they want us to interpret the story? Is it crucial that that NPC dies? Or is that just sort of assumed because of the combat system? It makes a big difference, you know, to how we're meant to interpret the story. It does kind of ruin the ending if she's not dead, because that sniper guy is supposed to be mourning her loss at the ending. So I can see the argument for, like, she should have to die, but it just makes me sad. I don't know. I wanted a happy ending, guys. Let me quick check. Perhaps if you didn't kill her, the ending screen would have the sniper guy and the mother hugging. That would be so cool, actually. I would love that. Like, it's like a dynamic ending. Like, the outcome changes depending on what you did. We should have a secret ending that if the game knows you completed the campaign at least once, you get the option to kill all of your teammates and yourself and leave the rebels alone. Yeah, I mean, I think that would actually work really well for, like, a Metro Cops going rogue story. Is they find out that the suppression field doesn't work, and then they're like, the Combine are gonna kill us if they find out about this. Like, this is secret knowledge. We have to, like, we have to run. And then have them side with the rebels. that's clearly not the direction the author wanted to take this. So I know I'm like suggesting changes to the story, and it is their story, but I don't know. I also like multiple endings. Like, if there's, like, different endings depending on what you do, then we can't say that we're invalidating the original intent, you know? Or maybe you are, but I don't know. I don't remember there being this many rebels last time. Oh, it's because they're waiting for me. That would explain why. Protector. Credits and description, which I do really appreciate that you copied all the credits into the port. That's really important, you know. Oh, I just realized through the door there's an area portal issue in this quick scene. They probably should have just like blacked out the door. Yeah. Here's the sniper. I am interested to go back to Swelter and see if the sniper character and the mother are the hero rather are the mother and father of the baby or not, because I don't really remember what those characters looked like in Swelter. Oh, XD, no, that's way too dark. I'm sorry, don't do that. Like, really, I wouldn't condone putting that in a mod. That was something we actually struggled with a little bit with EZ2, because there was this idea that when you get the revolver, he was going to test out whether or not it had any ammo in it by you know, doing that. And I think we realized at one point, oh, that's such a bad idea. The real reason we changed it, though, was especially because it didn't make sense. It's like we gave him a motivation why he wanted to do his mission. He was supposed to be like really casual about it, but it's like he wouldn't put himself in that much of a risk. So we changed it so he still is being really reckless, because he just points the gun in a random direction and waves it around and like tests out if it's loaded or not. But we got rid of the animation where he was gonna like point it at himself, because that was way too much. Didn't make a lot of sense either. Your Miles Morales preventing the canon event. Yeah, I don't know. I could not continue with that. Are there ways to play special view model animations via inputs? That's actually a really good question. I've seen there's like an add-on to do an inspect animation. I think there's some kind of bind you can do to replay the draw animation. So you could probably use that. We didn't really add like an inspect option in EZ2. I'm sure like if you were making a mod, it would be very easy to add code to add an input like that, but I don't think we have anything you could use for that in EZ2. I don't think, but maybe. And maybe if you used a custom weapon and map base with VScript, maybe there's a VScript hook that you could use for that. But I'd need to familiarize myself with that again. I've never actually made a custom map based VScript weapon. I rarely see them used, to be honest. But yeah, that was Protector Redux. I thought the port was very good, by the way. Ellen, you did a great job. The subtitles did work for me. I know some people were complaining subtitles didn't work. Subtitles worked fine. The only game-breaking issue was the crash at the end of the second map, or the third map. I get them mixed up. I think it was the end of the second map. It kept crashing. That's really the game-breaking bug that prevents this from being, in my opinion, the best way to play this. I would have liked to see more EZ2 specific features like the squad control system, but that's kind of wishful thinking on my part. It's not really like you're trying to port it accurately from its original format, and I'm suggesting changes or improvements, which isn't necessarily your goal. I do feel pretty strongly about you should be able to spare the rebels, though. Like, I think that was something we had to think about when we put in that mechanic. It's like, okay, if you can order them to lay down, we're committing to handling every case where you order a rebel to lay down. Like, we can never have a situation where you have to kill them, because that would break the convention. You know, the convention of like having that ability. so I think having an alternate ending where the hero, I'm going to call her hero because that's what her entity was called, where the hero survives, it would just be so cool to have that as an alternate ending. I know it might go against the author's intent, but I think it would be an improvement. I'll make a quick fix if I still have time today. I'm sorry if I'm stressing you out with that. I know I made it like a very like hard line thing, but it's really, I think you're right that not many players would have tried to do that. So I think you're probably right. I'm probably the only person who's tried that so far. I just think it would be really cool. Protector is both the sniper guy and you. Yeah, at least maybe in the happy ending that I jury rigged at the end there. Um, but what I would recommend, Ellen, is to ask the author what they think of the idea of making that an option. I mean, I don't know what you would do if you didn't make it an option, because in EZ2 you can always just detain the rebels, right? So it's kind of a bug if you don't give it an option, unless you like set the convar to prevent you from ordering surrenders or something like that. Or I think you can. There's maybe like a flag, like a key value on the entity to prevent them from surrendering. I think I might have to double check the FGD about that, but somehow you should handle the case where the player orders them to surrender. What I would like to see is like an alternate ending, but I don't know if that fits with the author's vision or not. And one other small bug that I noticed is that the 357, when you pick it up, has the first draw animation enabled. And that's kind of a bug because it's the first draw where you try to like unload the cylinder, like by firing it, you're just like pull the trigger, and that doesn't work in this context. That's a really minor thing, but it's just a small bug that I noticed. This was mostly like fully playable. Surrender options. There's one to make them resist arrest. Yeah, you could use that. If the author is like, no, it's vital to the story that the hero dies, and that's important to what the story we're trying to tell, you could set the option to have them resist arrest, and then the player won't be able to order them to surrender. That would also fix the problem. It would make me sad, but it would fix the problem from a technical perspective. You know, it's there's always like two different ways of looking at that. The EZU version of the 357 has a different pickup animation. That could be cool. Add Rebel Brute. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that would be cool, but again, it's like there's always a question of like how far do you want to deviate from the original vision to like add your own stuff in. I'm still thinking like from a story perspective, giving feedback to the original author. So this isn't about the port, but to the original author, I just wish there was more clarity in the ending. Like, so the leader, Roller One, died, and he and you are the only two that know about the baby. But like, what happens to your character? Does your character die? Does your character just stay silent? What about your mask cache? Did you erase your mask cache? Like, there's just so many unanswered questions that I still have. And the secret Scar Zero Paradise room. What does that even mean? Yeah, lots of unanswered questions. Actually, I would love to. I'd love to see a sequel to this. Dova, what are you talking about? I'm sorry. I don't know if I want to read that. I don't like what they were a fish. What are you talking about? I'm still geeking out about the fact that you did that. Yeah, I've practiced that a lot from testing. You know, if I'm trying to make a sequence and it's not working, I have to know how to like fix things on the fly so I can reverse engineer why they're breaking and how they need to be fixed and stuff. A room full of live Scar Zeros and rations and health kits and batteries and infinite ammo. Um, the one takeaway I have that I'm really excited about is if we assume for a second that that is meant to be the cargo container from Swelter, it's really, really cool to see a modder create a story about Entropy Zero and Swelter that like crosses over, you know, like having like elements from Entropy Zero, but also characters from Swelter and having a story about them. It really creates that feeling of like a modding ecosystem, like a fan canon, an expanded universe that connects everything. And I really, really like that. For all the criticisms that I've had about the ending and stuff, like that's like really exciting to me. Speaking of Scar Zero, will Arbite pistol be a main gun? You mean in the add-on, right? Yeah, I'd like to bring it back. I haven't set that up yet because I don't have the view model rigged to the Combine Soldier hands, but that's the goal. The only problem is the Swelter and EZ time gap. You're right. It depends on when this is meant to take place, because if this is right before EZ, then that's like quite a while after Swelter. I think Swelter is 10 years before Half-Life 2, so this is like 9 years after Swelter. Oh, there's a movie. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that movie. You have the view model, but it needs tweaking? Oh, I'd appreciate that, actually. That would be really helpful. But stream has gone on for quite a while, so I should look for a channel to raid. So we can wrap up the stream for tonight. Um, hmm. I'm looking at different channels, but like, I don't know. I don't have any like friends who are like, see, there's one person who's like, there's a just chatting stream I could raid. Um, Arbite shotgun too. Well, but the radio guy has the Arbite shotgun and he escaped with it. So I don't think it would make sense for Scar Zero to have it. Unless you just mean like as an asset in general. That could be good. I'm wondering about whether I want to risk a raid into like a chatting or like a VR stream. Oh, good night. Good night, Vizzies. Yeah, we're just gonna call it. I never know like when I want to raid or when I want to risk a raid that might be like weird or awkward or like nah, we're not gonna raid this time. There's no like Half-Life related streams going or anything remotely tangential. It's hard to raid on a Thursday night at 11:30 p.m. for me, but Saturday we'll probably raid. Speaking of Saturday, I'm gonna do another mapping stream on Saturday. Really excited to continue after the last one. RTBR Salvation speedrun stream? Maybe someday. That would be a goal for 12 hours. We'll see. Have a good night, guys. I'll see you next time. See you hopefully on Saturday with more mapping. And I really need to practice an outro. See you next time.